WIIFTV PM.
WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
Jackson.
Tune in to the Maze Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m. where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 a.m. That's right, it's the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
You sure looking good tonight, baby. I just wanna make sweet love to you tonight, baby. If you don't mind, let me tell you.
Hey there, sexy
lady of my dreams. Can I have you here with me? I just wanna love you down. Yeah. I'm making you scream my name. Oh, loving your body. I'll be kissing your body. And I'll be caressing your body. Oh, baby, just come on. Loving your body. I'll be loving, feeling your body. I'm gonna touching your body all night, baby. Now I'm about to fulfill your fantasy. So come a little closer, bring your body to me. I'm trying to take my time, I won't rush at all, 'cause you deserve the best. I'm gonna love, I'm gonna kissing your body until the morning comes. Caressing your body, oh baby, just come on, loving your body. Let me feel your body. And I just wanna touching your body. If you don't mind, baby, let me love, loving your body. I just wanna kissing your body. Don't stop me, baby, kissing your body. Oh, baby, come on, loving your body. Let me feel your body. Please, baby, touching your body. Baby, la 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 la. Oh, baby, please, oh, please, baby, we're gonna get it on tonight. Let's get it on, get it on. I wanna love, kissing your body all night, baby. Oh, baby, don't stop, no. Loving your body, just let me love, feeling your body. I just wanna touch your body, you all night long. Come on, loving your body. I wanna do it again, kissing your body. I wanna do it again, kissing your body. I just can't get enough of you, baby. Feeling your body, touching your body. I just wanna feel you tonight, baby. Makes me love. If you don't mind, if you don't sip a little wine, sip up and don't mind, spend a little time. Ooh, I wanna mix me love. Ooh, I wanna mix me love. Ooh, I wanna mix me love, mix me love.
WIFTPM.
Uh-oh, what's in it for the black people?
You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let the bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you can put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA gets spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steel on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Lenders give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. We're trying to get it right just real quick. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show live on a Wednesday. I think somewhere in the universe they might call this week 304 Wednesday, but it is your man Maze Jackson on a Wednesday. It's hump day. It's 6 days left. It's 6 days left until Election Day, and I want to encourage you all to get out and vote. Turnout has been extremely low, which if you were with us last night, then you understand what an opportunity that presents for us. That stated, on a Wednesday, fresh with the Afro shit, I smell it.
Solo Beauty, shout out to Solo Beauty.
Solo Beauty got you twisted up, twisted back, and Ruthie, you back in the building, back in action. How many fish did you catch? Did you kick it with your old man? You know when you come in the door, I be looking for you. When you come back from K3, I be looking for your blue bag. I be like, hold on, Pops. I need me some Cloud9 cookies.
Maze, you know you always good for a cookie.
Hey, man.
A cookie or two.
You know, man, I'm going to tell you. So the whole trick about the, like, baking it hot. Mm-hmm. And then, like, what I did was.
This my pen?
It can be.
Oh,
it's probably a pen you stole from around here anyway. You're like, Right. These the pens. So these are the pens. So can I tell y'all, did I tell y'all on Friday what Ruthie did? Ruthie came in with a whole pack of roller balls. You be trying to, like.
And what you say? It ain't the 24 pack.
No, I was grateful. Even though my 24 pack did, and actually it was a 48 pack and it got busted down. But it was like, you know, when 48 pens go missing and you only had 2.
That's hard to believe.
Not you.
48.
Okay, Ruthie, do you remember when we used to have 12 hours of programming?
Oh, I can see that.
Right? Somebody just go, you know how people just feel like they could go on your desk?
I can see that.
They be, you know, like it. I feel like I have a different kind of, different respect of people, because people will go in your stuff. They will
Sometimes
take liberty.
I think that's hard to believe until you see it happen. Because why is somebody touching your stuff?
Have you seen it?
I have felt that before. It feels like a violation, right?
I completely violated. I'd be like,
Yeah.
Dad, I don't like nobody opening my refrigerator. Did you ask me?
Like in your house?
In my house, even in the building. But like, no, straight up, if you ain't putting nothing in there, what you looking for? What if you didn't put nothing in the mug? What you looking for?
That's funny.
No, I'm just saying. It's just like
that's.
think about it though. So if you didn't put not one stitch in there, what are you opening the refrigerator for?
I don't think I've ever opened the refrigerator at somebody's house without being offered or asking. That seems really weird.
I don't
does
go in
that?
nobody's refrigerator unless I've been there for a week.
But who does that though?
Oh, I know people that'll do it. They don't. Like sometimes I be feeling like people are just not. Have you ever met people that are just not self-aware? Mm-hmm. Like they just be like the world revolves around them, and I don't even think they mean it maliciously.
Yeah,
but they like they'll like if you put something down, they'll feel like they'll pick it. Like if I put something right here, why are you touching it?
Like they'll try to take it or
just pick it up, or like I'm the person that like don't crack my newspaper. It could be I will buy 2 newspapers. I've said this before, so that you don't mess with mine.
You extreme.
I may be, but that's why I buy 2. That's why I say, do you want one? No, I don't want to share. So do you want one? I don't want a group gift. Buy me one.
A group gift and a house gift is 2 different things.
A house gift either. You buy a house gift, give it to Carrie. She can open it. If I can't open it, it ain't mine. I don't want it. I gotta share this. No, I don't.
It's a welcome mat. Only she can step on it.
Oh, it's a welcome mat. But that's I mean, that don't count as a gift, no way. That'd be like that. I mean, that's like
You ain't never seen them real nice ones.
It's to me, it's a welcome mat. Like I won't. Okay, so that wouldn't be a family gift, a house gift. Like that's a housewarming gift. Like who buys you a mat?
Somebody who see you need a welcome mat, or if it's like custom.
Now, if it say Maze Jackson,
the
home of Maze Jackson and Carrie too.
Y'all house,
our house. Okay. All right, so it's the Maze Jackson show. Anyway, Ruthie, so I was telling you about your dad's cookie. So I put it in the oven. I took it out. Then I put a dollop of ice cream on it.
Oh.
With a shot of whipped cream. And I ate like a warm cookie, ice cream. Then went on a Zoom mission because I forgot that you can't eat the whole damn cookie.
You can't eat the whole
So
cookie.
I was like, well, damn.
You should just crumple a little.
Yeah, you right. You probably. I'm gonna make a shake with one.
Oh no, you not.
Yes, I am.
No, you
I'm
not.
gonna take a shake. I'm gonna chop them up.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop that bad boy in some ice cream, so you know it's gonna stick to the fat, the double fat whammy. I'm gonna make me some ice cream that way too.
You gonna be out.
You know what though? I was thinking about making them with homemade ice cream. Could you imagine that though? You just go in the refrigerator, get these homemade ice cream, and they'd be like, oh, that's some Jenny's for your ass. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. It's my girl, Ruthie Moore. She is back in the building after a weekend fishing trip. Ruthie, how you doing? How you feeling today?
Good. It was a great Father's Day.
Did y'all catch a fish?
Not really.
What's a not really?
We ain't even go.
Oh, y'all was eating them damn cookies, wasn't y'all?
No, we ended up barbecuing.
What y'all barbecue?
You know, ribs.
Not a pop. Oh, okay.
No, we ain't that country. Ribs.
Do people barbecue possums? Does this person eat a possum? Don't play it. You lying.
I have not eaten it, but I've seen grilled possum.
Shut up. Okay.
I've seen people grill everything from pig snoot to frog legs. But grilling is really good, though. I didn't even know that gas grills existed when I was little. I had never seen one. We thought them was for white people.
We did kind of too. Like, it was like, boy, go out there, it was like, now that's a fire. You go outside, you go put the charcoal, then you had to pick, I used to have to pick out the bad coals and take out the dust and put the good ones back in. And then, but we used lighter fluid back in the day. Now you ain't even supposed to use lighter fluid. They'll embarrass you.
You gotta let it burn off if you do use it.
But they get mad at you if you put lighter fluid. Now I use, like when I'm in a hurry, I get the vegetable fluid.
Oh.
They got a fluid that you could spray on it and there's vegetable oil in it.
You don't even use match light charcoal?
I use the thing where
The
you
chimney.
yeah where you put it in stuff in newspaper.
Fancy. Oh.
Stuff it with paper. Then
Real
because then
new
you know
school with it.
no, but then you know that all your coals are gonna
Yeah,
be
you better go grab some branches.
right. So you could be smoking. Have you ever had a tree branch in the fire and it'd be like a green tree and it'd be don't nobody want those no oak tree flavored barbecue. Like what are these trees sap? Them trees, them be weed trees outside, and not the cannabis trees, but weeds that grow and turn. Have
That's
you ever
why
seen
gotta
a weed
know
that
how
turn
to
into
get the kindling maize? You can't get the fresh tree.
Ruthie? Where do you gather kindling in Chicago? Just so we're clear, they call it. They have it in a bag, and they sell them in bags. They call them wood chips. Yes, you put the wood chips in there, and you can get them flavored too, Ruthie.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And not Kankakee. Don't nobody want no Kankakee flavor tree barbecue.
It's just you got to use nature for some things. Who buy, like, I think it's so crazy when I used to see people buy bundles of wood. Like, that is something that is free. Like, you can't find no wood. Clearly, right? I'm like, y'all paying $10 for a bundle for some logs? You could just go, literally. Like, that's something that...
Did you go chop a tree down?
Like, my grandparents had a wood stove, so like wood was an abundant thing.
How long did they have the wood stove?
Until like a long like
the kind that's the black where you put and it got the thing on it.
Old school. Like old school.
Ruthie.
That's what I'm saying. Like wood was just like I
feel like you was like a pioneer or something. Like you like a pilgrim, a black pilgrim or something. You talk about a wood stove? Don't tell me you had an ice box too. No. They didn't deliver blocks of ice.
No, they ain't do that. But that's what they call a
ice box.
Yeah, that's what they call a refrigerator. The ice box. I'm grateful for the way I grew up.
You should be. Everybody should
Taught
be.
me a lot of things.
I see. Kindling. I bet if you talk to the average black person, they'd be like, kindling. I don't. That's my cousin's name, Kindling, but I don't.
I think black people know what they probably don't call it. How did you just pronounce it?
Kindling.
Kindling. No, it's kindling. It's kindling. If you say kindling, they probably know what you're talking about.
No,
but if you say it, how you say it?
Kindling. K-I-N. How it's spelled? Kindling. Kindling.
Kindling. Oh wow, I did not know that's what that word. Kindling. It don't even sound right. It's kindling.
Riis, you know what kindling is? See?
You wasn't no Boy Scout?
Hell no, Riis wasn't no Boy Scout.
He could have been a Boy Scout.
Riis was not a Boy Scout. Riis was
not
a Boy Scout. Riis, they did, but Riis wasn't one. Riis was a maniac Latin disciple. I told you. You be like 2-1, Holmes.
Niggas are boys. Nah, we
they
made fun of Boy Scouts.
See, see.
Yeah, we want to be a Boy Scout.
You
want to get a bath for helping the old lady across the street.
I was the equivalent of a Eagle Scout in Christian scouting. Like I had every badge and every.
Are you serious?
I was in the nationally. Like I was in the national magazine. I knew how to tie every knot. I did all of the sewing. I did all of.
I don't want to call you an overachiever, but you are not an overachiever. But I'm gonna say you're a high achiever.
Not high enough.
That's because you detest mediocrity.
Right. Well, I feel like.
But you do a lot to like a high level.
I gotta be honest. My mom says this all the time. I feel like people poured into me everywhere. Like I was like one of those kids that,
like a prodigy type of.
I wasn't a prodigy. I wasn't a prodigy because I knew prodigies, and I was like, oh, I ain't doing that.
Maybe just because you wasn't like book smart reciting Romeo and Juliet, it was your.
To be
like your personality.
Or not to be.
Seemed very winning.
I did until you made me mad. Like I have this thing where I like people. Well, it's like you could do the thing and then I just be like, I can't even deal with you no more. And I just be like, you're done. That's it. Like I have that, and I've had that all my life. And so if you make me mad or you do something, then I just cut you off. So it's interesting. I have a lot of it is, so I feel like I am a over underachiever. Like I feel like I was always embarrassed to be smart. And so it's like I got it, but I didn't want it. Like I didn't want to. It often made me not fit in. And as a kid, you want to fit in, and so there was an awkwardness about my intellect, and it's kind of why I always I don't want to say like I'm very leery of even acknowledging it sometimes. Like if people think I'm like super overconfident or like arrogant, but I'm like super
Aware?
No, I feel like, you know how like I still feel like self-conscious about my thoughts and about the things that I think and the way I see things. Like I do this radio show, but probably it's like you know how when you hear performers say when they go on stage, they turn into a completely different person. I feel like these walls sort of protect me from my insecurities. And then when I leave, those insecurities they challenge me sometimes because again, even in the space of black people, where you are fighting for them, or not fighting for them, but trying to, like I would be like, hey man, don't do it that way, cuz. Or I look on your paper and be like, that's wrong. Do it, and people, don't tell me what to do. And so you be like, man, I'm just telling you, I've seen this before. I know how this works. That's not how algebra works. And then be like, oh, this nigga think he's smart. Then when you be right, then they mad that you was right, even though you tried to tell them. So it's a weird space. So I got an opportunity here to say a couple things, and then I chill out. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my girl, Ruthie Moore. We did not say what's up on a week 304 Wednesday to my man in the background, the man with the do-rag, the man with the plan, DJ Riis the Ruler. DJ Riis the Ruler, how you feeling today on this week 304 Wednesday?
Blessed by the best. You already know the rest. I got a couple of week 304s today. I wish. But I'm good though, man. It's too early in the morning, man. Like,
how you getting week 304s this early in the morning, man? Your phone ain't. First of all, I hope your phone didn't ring for it to be a week 304. Now, if you calling somebody at this time, this is disrespectful. Just because you know I'm at work, you know the day don't start till 9 o'clock. So don't be taking no liberties with my 6 to 9.
Baby mamas have no boundaries.
Oh. Riis the Ruler. That was like, I'd be like, you know how you want to dip, but then you be like, let me not. So, brother, we should have like a conference one day. Nah, I'm not gonna even go there because it'll be turned into a whole thing. Look, y'all. All right, well, Riis, I hope your day is better. I hope that the 304 thing don't stick with you all day. Cause gotta let the people do what the people do. So with that in mind, let's do this. Let's get the soul plane off the ground. Let's get this thing up to 60,000 feet. We are up and away. Hey y'all, big day on the Maze Jackson Show. Ruthie Moore, yo, Sarah is coming in today. Yo, sorority sister.
You ain't have to lead with that.
What? Hey man, I lead. First of all, let's be clear. Now when people are neophytes. When people are neophytes, they be like, they gotta hit you with the soror. So do y'all got like a secret shake? Do y'all be like?
I always wanted to know that, but I really do think it is because
the sorority's got a secret shake.
But it's something to do like when they like grab it to the hand or something. It's something real slick they do.
It's probably something in there. It's probably some blood in my blood, lamb in my lamb.
Do y'all have a grip though? Like do y'all have a grip?
Everybody does.
You can't be a
y'all stuff is just like.
But like I never see the girls do it. Like
how often have you seen women shake hands?
I mean, still though, like
no, just think about that. How often do you see women shake hands? Is it only certain?
I mean, like business settings,
mostly
always
business settings, or you got to go out of your way to try to shake somebody's hand.
So you know what you look for it though. Like for women, first of all, I think they got like a secret sign.
Yeah,
like if you're in a sorority,
it's subtle things that you
that you notice. Right, it's subtle things that you
and if you know, and then you gotta like say something, and then you gotta be like,
I told you, like, your boy.
Like 1913 was a good year.
Right. You be like, man, how about that blue sky? Lord, look at this guy.
Yeah, my sorority sisters. What sorority you in? That's how they go.
All right, you know, you throw something out there. You throw a little something, see if anybody bite. If it's a nibble. I told you, I threw something out the other day, though. Your frat grabbed the wrong thing. And I was like, he's like, no, you do it like this. I was like...
He keeps saying that.
I was like, fam. I was like, when I went to go speak at the school.
Grip me right now on that. Grip me right. See, look. I
don't gotta greet you.
I said, grip me right now on that end. Grip me on that.
Okay. you ready?
You don't know it.
Let me tell you.
Make sure you're gonna let that one go.
No, it was so. Let me say this. I really didn't catch on until it was too late. Right? Like it was almost like, that ain't my.
I can just see both of y'all like having the moment, like the revelation.
He had the worst moment though,
and be like,
because I was laughing. I was like, I'm a Sigma, right? And he was like, what? And he was like, no, it's okay, because I felt like that was the reassuring of the new people who sometimes be forgetting stuff. So he was like, it's okay, brother, I got you. It's.
Did you really wipe your hand off like that?
I did. I was like, ah! We both did. If it wasn't what it was,
I think it's just a good moment.
I'm just glad it wasn't me. Right? Like, I'm glad the bros ain't gonna never call me up. I ain't gonna never be on TV. Ain't nobody gonna be on and talk about.
We already know the Sigma girl. It's okay.
Right, we all know it. Look, Riis, you don't know. I mean, Riis, try and give it to somebody. Go try and give it to somebody, bad guy.
Do it all the time.
No, you do it all the time?
Do it all the time.
Dark side. Look, I'm gonna be like the dark side gonna come visit him. All right, y'all. Here, you gotta come here, son. All right.
Oh, you strong.
No.
I'm just like, wait.
No, you're just little. You like, hold on. I could have just moved myself. No, I'm trying to fix the camera.
You know I would have struggled. I would have grabbed hold of
sit down. Anyway, all right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. We don't got no papers today. I left my computer yesterday.
We practicing being politicians. No papers.
You know what I was thinking, though?
You know when people come in here, they ask,
what? Can I bring my papers?
should I bring these papers?
So I was thinking. I think people make the. I don't think it's wrong to have papers. Honestly, I think they became classic moments because you couldn't answer a question. You like, wait, that one ain't on the paper. I don't think that it's wrong to have paper, and I don't think it's wrong to take notes. I don't feel like you're gonna know every single thing. I think it's though when you got a question and it's like a simple question like, what color is the wall? The wall right there, the one with the blue wall.
Thank you for that question, Maze.
But I don't think it's wrong for people to use it's a lot to be, and sometimes when people get to asking these pontificated questions,
you want to just stick to your talking points.
Yep. But when they say, hello, how are you today? And you be like, that's not on my paper. Then that's when it'd be a problem. But you can bring your papers. We are going to move the lower third, though, so everybody can see when you read. So we say what's in it for the black people, and you say what's in it for the black people is, right? Then we're going to be like, and then you leave yourself to be judged by the others. All right? Look, y'all, it's so much going on. We got a lot to talk about. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then after we take a quick break, we'll be back. We're going to get through some of these headlines. Plus, the social media question of the day. How ironic this is coming back up today. Also, I did tell you first congressional district candidate Alderman Pat Dowell will be in the studio today. First time in history. I told y'all I was going to give everybody a fair opportunity, regardless of our past, present, to share their platform. In case you did not notice, on the What's in it for the Black People sample ballot, in our estimation, the two most likely candidates that will service our community are Jonathan Jackson and Pat Dowell. We've talked to Jonathan Jackson. We'll try and talk to him a little bit at some point again before the election. But we are going to have Pat Dowell in studio because Ruthie twisted my arm. She did.
I wish I had some type of influence.
She put they did the Delta thing like doop 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 doop. They had the doop, 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 doop.
Baze, I long for the day to be able to pick up my phone and have that type of juice.
Where? To what?
This was shout out to Matt's.
Oh, Cassandra Matz. Oh, shout out to Cassandra Matz who put it together. Cassandra Matz filling up the studio today. She also has Bloom Township trustee Adam Winston coming on today. I just want to encourage y'all, man. Y'all better stop tripping. We got the #1 morning show in the city right now, especially in the digital space. And if you are trying to get your word out, I told y'all I'm not trying to slam anybody. I'm going to ask you the questions if we got some questions. But take advantage of the opportunity to get yourself on display. It was funny. I saw Cassandra's email to Alderman Dowell. Actually, and she was like, regardless of what you might think, people are undecided, and you should come and just talk to them. I just think you can't. I think that in this election cycle, black people have to learn to run to our people, not away from them. And so as much as I can be an encouragement to getting people to run, to stop us from being scared of each other and figuring a way for us to collaborate and find ways. I have spent a lot of time finding ways to disagree with people. I just want to start trying to find ways that we can come together and open up dialogues for the benefit of us. Y'all, it's so much going on in this world. So shout out to Ruthie, shout out to Cassandra Matz for getting it booked. Alderman Dowell will be in here today. What else we got? Did you see your man Willie Wilson? I got Willie Wilson. $2 million. He up in the ante. First of all, let's go backwards. Did you see that Joe Biden is talking about gas cards now? Gas rebate cards?
Mm-hmm. Too little, too late.
What? He got 2 years to go. Is he cooked already? I mean,
I refuse to watch him fall off that bike. I just did not want to see the clip. I don't want to see the deterioration of my president. So I just can't watch.
Oh, I was going to play it too. I mean, it was like, Ruthie, it was like,
I just said, no, I'm not participating in this.
And then it was just like, he zipped in, stopped, and then just fell over. I was like, this can't be real. This can't be real. Can't believe it. And look, that's why Putin keep moving forward. He like, you ain't finna do nothing. You know how I'd be like, man, look, it'd be all these people in the world, but he'd be like you ever been in a fight and it's like everybody over there, and so you about to get whooped, but you be like, they might whoop my ass, but you ain't finna do nothing. So if all them whoop me, I'm beating your ass. And that is exactly how Putin feels about Joe Biden, I think.
Ooh, good analogy.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna come over there and you better leave those Ukrainians alone. Walking up on his cane, Putin like, he releasing videos of him tackling bears.
Well, this was Biden's equivalent, but we see that it's not. Come on, y'all.
Putin is wrestling bears and MMAing. Joe Biden is falling off of bicycles. Y'all, I'm just telling you, this is a scary time to be to be American.
He probably just needs them like a 3-wheeler. You know what I'm talking about, with the 2 big ones in the back and the one in the front. Yeah, like a big one though. Like those are really nice and ergonomic for people who don't have really good mobility.
Ain't the point to have the bike though?
We just need to stop playing. Like, stop playing. Like, just make the modification. You know how
they should give Joe Biden a scooter, like at the grocery store.
They probably.
What would you say if he rolled up on one of them? Do you think he would lose respect as the president if he rolled up with a cart?
Yes.
What if he didn't have a basket on the front?
He'd come out better being on a hoverboard, some type of modified hoverboard. So it can be like, oh, I'm futuristic. Versus
right, but
like,
what if he fall off? Literally have to balance. Like, you can't put him on some air. Like,
who was the president that was who was in the wheelchair?
They didn't have YouTube in Ruthie.
I mean, but who was that? What was his?
Franklin Delano. FDR.
Okay, that's what they're gonna have to do
Ruthie,
one of them.
They're gonna show him from neck up all the time.
Yes.
Now, Ruthie, who gonna get some? Do you know that Joe Biden fall probably got more views than CNN?
That's why I didn't watch it, because I can't take it. They need to stage
Ruthie the Hawk.
They need to. Maze, they need to stage some Joe Biden strong moments, like the same way they be doing with Putin. Like they need to at least stage them.
What are they gonna stage him doing, Ruthie? Like picking up his oatmeal,
Zumba or something. Like I don't know, like something. But they
Joe.
I don't like the implications.
What you think Joe Biden? How much you think Joe Biden can bench press? Like, do you think he could lift like a 10-pound weight over his head?
Ooh.
So if not,
10?
Ruthie, 10 pounds over his head. Because if he can't lift a 10-pound, what you gonna have? What video you gonna have him doing? Mopping? What's the strongman video of Joe Biden? If he fell off a bicycle? Respectfully.
I don't know. But I don't like it though. They don't be putting him in those types of positions.
Yeah, I feel like it's bad for our media, except to do it because it does, to me, embolden Putin. But I think that we got people on our team that would want to see us, Joe Biden, lose at all costs, and even at the expense of the rest of America.
Exactly. It's about the optics.
So should they be, are they like, do you think we got Americans rooting against America?
What? They tried to, yes!
They tried to...
Listen, some of these people are, if I can't have you, nobody can. So we all got to die. So these people, like, if y'all gonna take, the white people, like, if y'all gonna take this country from me, I would rather burn it up than to let you take it. And then you got some people that's just like, hey, let's just destroy it because everybody else is doing it. Anarchy. And then you got some people that's really trying to, quote unquote, preserve it by destroying it to get it back to how they feel like it needs to be. So it's kind of like everybody fighting in different directions at the expense of, I feel like, national security.
Oh, I feel like
all these domestic issues is,
one of these days we're going to pick the safe states and the not so safe states. Like,
ooh. Right.
I'm just saying, like if you woke up and they was like, the Supreme Court has, what states would you want to wake up in? Like, I mean, I know people still love Texas, but I got to be honest with you. If things went to the left, I would not want to wake up in Texas.
If things went to the left.
To the right.
Yeah, but I don't know, Paige. We always talk about this, but I don't hear the people that I know that live there.
That's because they mind their own business till they got a fence around their town. I'm just saying, like, because Texas is already segregated. It really is.
But what's wrong with that? Is it
is it
disproportionate?
I love the segregation that I've seen in Houston. Can't lie. It'd be like black people be straight. They be like, hey man, we had no problems with them people over there. Cause we got our joint right here.
I got a cousin that lived down there. He just built the pool.
See?
For his family.
I'm just saying, man, I'ma tell you. I'd be like, you look at Houston, you be like, I can take my chances.
I said, what kind of, above or the in-ground? In-ground. I said, okay.
Ruthie, I'm just telling you, in Texas, you black people, we be around here like them poor people in Texas. Them people in Texas be like, oh, way far down in Dixie land, they put their cowboy hats and cowboy boots on, go to the rodeo, and get they kick it on. Now, as long as we could get our own police.
See.
You see that thing in the newspaper about the police can't chase nobody no more?
I saw that. But I thought it was under like certain circumstances.
Ruthie. Okay, what circumstance? Do you understand what the brothers is going to do when they find out you can't chase them?
Run?
Yes.
They've been running.
Right, but now they're going to run with impunity. They're going to be like...
They're going to be stopping and turning around. You can't catch me!
Nah.
Wow. Maze, that's deep.
Put your phone...
Texting somebody walking backwards.
Right.
12. You know, police hate when you call them 12.
Do they?
They go 12. You gotta say it just like that.
I don't say that. I'm not trying to get
you. Don't.
Ruthie, I'm 50. I'd be like, help. I'd be like, officer. Look, the other day somebody was at the Dunkin' Donuts. There was a white dude at Dunkin' Donuts, and he was acting a fool. And it was like, let me get a cup of coffee. I was like, man,
what?
Like, he was like, I need a cup of coffee. Nobody buy me a cup of coffee. Buy me a cup of coffee. I was like, man, if you don't get your ass. Then he went in the store and was like, I'm not leaving here until you buy me a cup of coffee. You know, my Dunkin' Donuts people, I be feeling bad for them because they be there early in the morning to be ladies, and it's like we ain't got no bulletproof, no nothing. It's just a straight. But every once in a while, somebody snap. So I realized. So the black dude was outside cutting the grass, and he came in there and was like, "Man, if you don't get your, because he making his money, and it's like, dog, don't come over here messing with the little ladies, because they all cool."
And he out early in the morning.
Dude was right. Dude snapping off, going off. So they called the police on him, right? So when the police came, and I mean, because he went in the store and was like, I'm a snap off. You gonna give me some coffee and some donuts, and if you don't, I'm gonna stay in here. I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna act up, and nobody tell me. And so I went back in and was like, man, could you let the ladies? Because they like straight up scared now. Mm-hmm. Like, could you let the ladies? So then he started screaming. I'm like, look, mama, don't be screaming at me. I just told you. Then I was like, you know what? This is exactly one of those moments. So when the police came, right? Because the brother called the police on him. It was a white guy, so they called the police on him. And, when the police came, I got out the car because I didn't want them to, go crazy on dude. I was like, he really is having a mental health. So I got out of the car to say, he's having, because they came with their gloves on and the whole you dig. And I was like, and then I realized I was like, this could end badly and I could be the shot one. So I got out of my car and then I put my hands up immediately, like this.
You had to think about all that.
And then I was like, and then they was like, because when I got out the car, they was looking like, and I was like,
that's wild.
Officer, I'm not coming close. I'm just going to let you know he's having a mental health issue. So if you all could, don't kill him, or don't shoot him, but he has a mental health thing. And so as you deal with him, because at first my instinct was to go be hollering back and forth at him. But then I realized this dude is having a mental breakdown.
Maze, you could be one of them people.
What people?
They go with the police to
You
intervene.
sound crazy. I was like,
but just think about that.
Dude, I did not want him to touch me. I was like, oh, no. And I was like, what? So, no. But I did.
Okay, I got a question, though, Mace. Being in that situation, knowing that person was having a mental health crisis, do you think that strategy with deploying the person, to defuse the mental health situation with the police would have worked? Like, you think that would have been a good time for that to happen?
I felt like, I did honestly felt like in that moment, I kind of got the dilemma that police are in.
Because you kind of acted like that advocate person. That's really, really important.
I just didn't. So, let me say, when I went in the store and he was screaming at the girls and I saw him scared, like I went into defense mode. Like, man, get your ass. And then I realized that this dude was really cracking up. And it was like, I feel like probably now looking back, I probably would have bought him a cup of coffee and a donut. Right? Like to try to diffuse the situation, but I feel like my instinct was to be like, dog, why you in here acting up, snapping off? And then kind of when it all came together, I was sitting in the car because I was going to drive up and I saw the police. They skirted up like, because that's the Dunkin' Donuts. So they get called. They coming. Skirt, they came out, and you know how they come out with the, and then one dude got his hands in this thing, and one dude got the black gloves on, and I was just like, and I jumped out of my car, but I jumped out suddenly. And then I was like, I literally was like, whoa. I caught myself, put my hands up, like, officers, I don't want, but I didn't, I did that in that moment. I recognized how it could have gone bad for both people because he was japping out. And so if you didn't recognize after, it took me a while to recognize he was having a mental issue. And so that's when I was just like, man, I don't want these people to come shoot this dude or come break his neck or something or put him in some kind of crazy restraint.
Or escalate the situation.
Right.
It's about de-escalation.
But it did feel like when I told them that, it was like they deflated a little bit.
Yeah, because I cannot imagine being a police officer and just rolling up and not really knowing what's going on. And I'm telling you, it was so helpful for you to be there to say that because they kind of toned it down a little bit, and they come from a different place. It's a different level of understanding when you come into defuse something versus when you come into not know if your life is in danger or jeopardy.
Right. So
shout out to you, Maze, for that.
Oh, well, thank you. And it was crazy because, ordinarily.
And shout out to you for protecting those women up in there because them people up in there love you.
Hey man, that's my Dunkin' Donuts. They do look out, and I know I'm not supposed to be promoting them or whatever, but as much as somebody can, be a part of your retail life, right? Like, I mean, I see them people as much as I probably see them people more than I see my kids. If you think about it, because I see them every day. I drink coffee every single day.
And let me take your mobile app in there, and you not there. Where's Maze? It's me today. Give me the order.
Amen. And it'd be funny because that Dunkin' Donuts, when you talk about, they still won't even let me use the bathroom after 8 o'clock. I'd be like, if y'all put this out of order sign up one more day.
Like, who really falls for the old out of order sign?
When you in a black neighborhood, they can do it to you.
I feel like that is so discriminatory. But then it'd be them times when you go into them bathrooms. So I'd be like, really, y'all? Like there's a certain point though in the bathroom when you just being disrespectful. Like you just really if you ain't flushing, if the toilet paper don't never make it into the toilet, you being disrespectful. I feel like using the bathroom is a human right, and I really didn't think about that until I was in a foreign country and they tried to charge me to use the bathroom. And I was like, I gotta pay to use the bathroom.
They did that in Zimbabwe.
But it made me realize that people will monetize everything. But it's kind of the same of you having to buy something from the store if you want to use the bathroom, because when you black, sometimes you don't feel like you just walk in up off the street.
Sorry, we have no public bathroom. Oh, one time I was told this story by Carrie. She said that she shopped in Houston at this store all the time. And the lady would call and give her, put her up on great deals or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then one day her niece needed to go to the bathroom. And the lady was like, we don't have a public bathroom. Mm. But if we don't, would you think that was racial, or do you think it was because I feel like I've been if we got a bathroom at the you dig, and it ain't for the public, I'm not letting nobody behind the counter to use my bathroom. Sorry.
See, that's tough because I feel like using the bathroom is a basic human right that people should be able to.
Do they have to basically clean up after themselves? Or is that my human right to clean up after you because you decided that you didn't care about none of my walls? You were just going to leave your behinds in my toilet and stuff it up. That I feel like Ruthie, had I not been into bathrooms in where it's a human right, had you ever been to the bathroom in the state of Illinois building? Mm-mm. Where everybody can use it. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but Lord have mercy, Jesus.
There'd be a lot going on.
It'd be bathroom, showers, but it'd be I don't mind if you don't have a place and you use the bathroom, but don't be disrespectful with it. You gotta.
I know it's
people
it's
go
tough.
to
It's
bathrooms.
Tough. It's tough.
When I look at a bathroom at a gas station, in certain places they look a certain way, and then in certain places they just give up. There's a certain. So yeah, I feel like it's a human right, but maybe we need to have porta potties.
No.
Yes. So everybody should just walk into your store and go to the bathroom and not purchase nothing and be like, "Hey man, hey fam, I just drank a 40 in the parking lot.
Okay,
I gotta go."
Maybe not a 40, but what about the baby that just drank a Capri Sun that needs to use the bathroom?
Guess what? That's my compassion, and I'm gonna let the baby go. But fam, I'm not. No, and I take pride in making sure that it if you are a customer, yes, I'm telling you.
That's what I'm saying. Most of the time, you gotta buy something if you want to use
Ruthie,
the bathroom.
I've been in bathrooms where it ain't nothing but 6 people in the whole damn building, and the bathroom turns into, and I'll be like, how is this possible?
It's just people just let it go.
How is this possible? To the point where I'm in a bathroom that mutually everybody shares, and I'd be like, how is it possible the toilet's not flushed? We have to come back to this bathroom.
I'm with you.
So, no, I am not for just opening up the bathrooms and being public. I'm not. No. Because I feel like if you don't feel the need to, when you use the bathroom, even in a public bathroom, I'll wipe the seat. I wipe it around and throw it in the toilet. And I just feel like if you ain't got no home training,
Listen,
so you
it's a
have
tough
your
one.
human right.
It's a tough.
You go human right.
It's a tough one.
Your human right is in the field. Now for the women, I think that's a different thing. But for fellas,
But see, think about this. Like in places like San Francisco, where they just going on the street, like because of a lack of, clean, safe places to use the restroom.
so to me, that's why you put porta potties out, right? You put porta potties out that are very difficult to damage. You make that part of your streets and sand job, right? So you drop and deposit them, and they got to be picked up just like garbage trucks, and you put them on. So, but right, like I have been to San Francisco, and you literally see, just like dog feces, there's human feces straight on the street. Like
They have people that clean it up every morning. It's their job to hose it down.
So my thing is, put the public bathrooms up and then spray them down. Like have it where you could power wash them bad boys straight down, rinse it into a drain, and keep on moving.
But you could do it in a regular bathroom. No. That's not a porta potty. Like they.
Okay, so build portable. What I'm saying is build not disposable bathrooms, but bathrooms that provide dignity, but at the same time are easy to clean.
They do that, and they're like suicide proof and addict proof. Like they do that.
Okay, so why is it boo boo everywhere? Because some people don't care. Some people just like bust your. They don't care about your. It's
not that they don't care, Maze. They might have a mental illness or a mental condition or something.
Okay, I'm not tripping. That's why I said, Ruthie, have a public bath. Have a places for a public. If they got public needles, if they got public needle swapping and locations where you can do safe injection sites, they can figure out bathrooms. They can figure out bathrooms.
People was using the bathrooms as the injection sites.
But now they got injection sites and bathrooms. Put a bathroom in the injection site.
I'm pretty sure there are.
Now, I will tell you that they did a study in Chicago, though, and they say that we are woefully under in public bathrooms.
It's true. Have you ever... See, you don't really ride your bike. If you ride your bike, you drink water... You realize the places where you can use the bathroom, because there really is a lack of public places that you can literally just walk into. Unless you're paying, you have to buy something if you want to use the bathroom for the most part.
Cost of doing business.
But in the city, I heard you can go to any police station and use the bathroom. With that same study you talked about, they say that you are supposed to be able to go to the police stations and use the restrooms. I'm
not debating that, but how many black people feel comfortable walking in a police station, period?
No, because most of y'all dudes would rather just go in the alley.
No, I'd rather not have to walk past the dude who could have shot somebody I know. And so as I'm walking through, they be like, what you doing with that Porsche? And you can't find another bathroom? And then they start asking you questions. You got any warrants? I just came to use the bathroom. But since you're here, why don't you just look in this camera real quick?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so
Ruthie.
So what would be a better place? If you can't go to the police station, what would be a better place?
Mariano's.
So every Mariano's got to be a public bathroom.
No, but I'm saying, are you really suggesting? I think any government building should have public bathrooms.
But the police station, don't they generally be open 24/7?
Ruthie, if you got to go to the bathroom at the police station at after 12, they're gonna be asking you questions.
What?
They're gonna be like, "What have you been drinking, sir?" You sound crazy.
What?
Riis, let me ask you. You outside 1:00 in the morning. You had a couple. You need to go to the bathroom. You're driving past the 12th District Police Station, and you gotta go bad as hell. Bad. They got a big flashing public bathroom light. So you know the closer you get to it, the more you gotta go. You going in the bathroom, or you in the police station, or you going in the alley?
I'm already at the alleyway. Way before I even see the police station. What are you talking about? Like you keep hand sanitizing there, baby wipes in your car. What you tell? Ruthie,
see, y'all
do.
Y'all, like I said, y'all just
the worst thing in the
pull
morning.
Up and go.
The worst thing in the morning though is like, have you ever gotten up in the morning and seen just Coca-Cola bottles everywhere with yellow Coke in them? Like people, like
Never.
all along the expressway, people will use, or like outside, like they will use a bottle and then toss it out. Like not get out and use the bathroom, but use a bottle, put it in the bottle and then toss it out. It'd be all over the place. Like for real.
I've never paid attention, but now I
Water
feel
bottles, it'd be like
I'm gonna notice it now.
you will. If you know what to look for, you'll be like, oh, y'all foul. But at least they didn't pee on your garage. Because I'm here to tell you, I know a lot of people that will pee under your door in your garage. And you wake up and be like, what is that?
People pee in alleys all the time.
I do.
People pee in alleys all the time.
I have had to play it off. Because there are times when nature calls.
I shouldn't say people. I'm gonna say men.
Women do. You better stop. I done seen some women hold on to the steering wheel and be straight out the door. Oh no. How do we even get?
I don't know. In my 20s, many nights, pull over. That's why I keep the baby wipes. That ain't for me. It ain't for
See,
me.
now imagine if you could go to any police station and
Any-
use the restroom. You wouldn't have to use the alley or the baby wipes.
I'm just here to tell you.
We was drunk. What are you talking about? You want me to go to the police station?
See, we ain't gonna even touch on you breaking the
going-
law. If
they-
you want breaking the law, you could go into use the bathroom. But you out there breaking the law.
I feel like even if I wasn't breaking the law, I'm a black man going into a police station to use the bathroom. I feel like 2 blocks down the street, I'm gonna see some lights in my rearview mirror. It's no.
Follow him.
That's what
I didn't want to go to the police station when I got carjacked. I was like, wait, I gotta go inside? Wait, they was like, come back here with us. No, man, I know this trick. Look, sir, come back, come right here.
Y'all are so suspicious.
The police?
Y'all are so suspicious.
Ruthie, you obviously ain't never known nobody who went to the police station and then didn't come back because they had a warrant. They went to go. They was violating.
I know people that got caught up trying to go to court.
That's so funny.
Hey, sir, you have a warrant here. You be like, I'm free. They be like, come with us. No, Ruthie, you sound crazy. How many people would actually stop at the police station and go to the bathroom? Like, real talk.
I think people would.
At 3:00 in the afternoon, maybe.
You're gonna have to do one of your polls.
We will do a poll.
3 p.m. maybe 3 p.m.
3:00. But anything after 8, I'm not touching.
What? That's the only time I'm probably going is like when it's dark.
Nah.
Are y'all? See, that's because y'all be out on dirt.
No, we don't.
That's because y'all be out on dirt.
Have you ever been pulled over, Ruthie? Have you ever had?
Y'all be out on dirt.
Nah, but you get pulled, man. Listen, no.
Where do you go to the restroom after hours? You ain't really nowhere to go. Stores be closed. Restaurants be mostly drive-through only. You gonna hit the alley with your baby wipes, or imagine if you could just stop at the police station. Excuse me, officer. Can you buzz me in so that I may use the restroom?
Yeah,
I'm gonna buzz you in, all right. But I'm hell no. I don't even want to go to the police station to report a crime that's happened to me. And you talking about, hey man, what y'all? Excuse me, y'all got a bathroom in here?
See, you gonna come up like that?
I'm gonna put one right next to you.
It is my fundamental right to use the restroom.
I'm gonna make sure
Excuse
you
me,
get all that fundamental.
and let me ask a question. Do you allow people to use your washroom for real? Like, do you feel disrespected if someone uses your washroom for real? For real?
It depends on how. Generally you ain't in my house if I won't let you use my restroom. But if you gotta go, you gotta go. And most of the time, people are courteous enough to be like, I gotta go. And then it's like, all right, just courtesy flush,
I'd be
crack
like-
that window, turn on the exhaust, and let me light this candle. Go ahead. Because it is a fundamental right for people to use the restroom comfortably, Maze.
How long can they use it for? Like,
You all right?
how long can somebody be in your bathroom for you not?
It's bleach under the sink and Lysol wipes. As long as they clean up behind themselves, like, people need to use the restroom. If you gotta go, you gotta go.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I never used the bathroom in public till I was maybe, besides going to a urinal, till maybe at least 30. And then I had one of them, oh Lord.
I was like, I can't go. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I don't want to go in there. Yeah. Did I ever tell you about that time that some people I knew pushed a person over on the door in a porta potty?
Oh my gosh. I've only seen it on TV.
Huh?
I've only seen that on TV.
They did do it on TV?
Like those
Prank shows?
Yeah, like Jack ASS and stuff like that.
But it wasn't a real one, was it? This was a real one, like a Taste of Chicago.
You know what? Now
really.
that you say it, probably not.
This was like a Taste of Chicago Friday late, and then they got pushed over on the door.
That is horrible.
So they couldn't.
And you want to install them across the city?
No, the lesson there is weld it to the ground.
No. Use the police stations.
Man.
Retrofit the police stations with public restrooms.
They gotta have they need an outside door then. They need a door that does not force you to go inside the police station. You need to be able to pull. They need to have like a public bathroom where you can just go outside. I don't know how in the hell we got to bathrooms for an hour. But this is the Maze Jackson Show. Don't forget, at 8 o'clock, we're going to be talking to Alderman Pat Dowell. Plus, I don't know if y'all saw they're trying to build a new high school in new Chinatown High School, even as CPS enrollment declines. Like, I don't understand. They want to spend $120 million on this high school. They don't necessarily have the land. They were talking about 24th and State, but the people who were on 24th and State are like, hold on. Y'all said y'all was using this land to build us some houses to come back. The NTA fight extends to another. They live to fight another day. The other thing I think we need to talk about, and I don't know if we'll have a chance to get to it, but I want to come back to it. Is did you see that Aldi left? Left Auburn-Gresham. They didn't make an announcement.
At least they was real about why they leaving, unlike Whole Foods.
What did they say?
Theft and low sales.
It's interesting, and then people were saying, "Oh my God, we're gonna have another food desert." What I think the unique thing that everybody is missing here is that all of these. I think you're seeing the expiration of the Rahm Emanuel term in office, and I think the artificial. I don't want to call it artificial, but Rahm, in my estimation, and we'll talk about this. Let's talk about Aldi closing. Let's talk about the new high school. Plus, we got to get ready for Alderman Pat Dowell, who'll be coming in and talk about our congressional race. But I do want to talk about this Aldi in a different perspective, because I think there's something else that we need to be paying attention to, and I actually think we need to be doing a leash check on everything, every major project that happened during the Emanuel administration. Woo! And I'm going to tell you why when we come back. It is the Maze Jackson Show.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
WIIFTBPM WIIFTBP Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP Media's just for you and me.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality Black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe Black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of Black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black youth events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black youth members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Wake up in the morning with the frown on my face, cause I know it's another day that I gotta face. Smile for people I don't wanna see, working at a job that I don't wanna be, breaking my back to the bone with nothing to show. But I got dreams and goals, but as soon as I clock in, I'm ready to go. So there's one thing I gotta know: why money ain't free? Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? Give it to me. I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money? Why can't you just give it? Why can't you just give it? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
Rocking in that 9 to 5, got your girl hella tired. Why won't they let me be? Now I understand why my mama always used to ask, did I think money grew on trees? I got these bills after bills and they just keep coming. Working overtime, but my pockets ain't flooding. Yeah, my funds low. Adult life is gas.
Why money ain't free?
Why it ain't free?
Why can't you just give it?
Why can't they just give it?
My mom would say, Carrie, don't talk about it, be about it. My name is Carrie K. Still, and as president of the Water Reclamation District, I lead an agency with $1 billion budget, AAA bond rating. We've increased transparency while we've reduced our reliance on tax dollars. Now, my opponent has been all talk and broken promises. The Sun-Times said Kagi's office is riddled with mismanagement, hurting our seniors, our veterans, and our property tax bills are going to be late again. Look, we all knew 4 years ago that the Cook County property tax system was broken and needed to be reformed. And unfortunately, it still does. That's why I'm asking for your vote June 28th, punch number 112. Because I won't spend the next 4 years talking about it. I'll be about it. Vote for me, Carrie K. Still, as your next Democratic Cook County assessor. This message has been paid for by friends of Carrie Still.
Carrie Steele, Cook County assessor.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze and Riis and Ruthie and Ty, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't trying to help us, they ain't trying to do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect you oppressed to solve them.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my girl, Ruthie Moore, and my man, DJ Riis. What y'all, Riis? This felt like a week 304 conversation. We could have called it the Golden Shower Conversation. I can't believe. What? I mean, I'm just saying, like, where you go? Where do you go? Ruthie telling Muggs to go to bed. Okay, let me just say this. The thoughts and opinions of Ruthie Moore are not that of the station. And if anybody gets locked up for going to the bathroom.
Don't go if you intoxicated.
Ruthie, why am I going to the bathroom after 11 and 12 o'clock?
Because if you gotta
you was
go,
riding
you
your bicycle?
gotta go.
I wasn't riding my bike at midnight. 1 o'clock, I certainly ain't got to. I mean, the times that I feel like I gotta go, usually coincide with the rest of it. Is usually like cautiously walking to the store. Excuse me. Do you have a bathroom? Is that your car out there, sir? Yes. Right this way.
See, you gotta patronize.
I'm saying somebody came in yesterday, talk about when Big Boy was a little hurt, so I was sitting in, and somebody came in and said, "Could they use the bathroom?" And I was like,
"Gotta buy something."
Yeah. They was like, "What?" I said, "Well, what you got to do in the bathroom?" Now, if you gotta pee, you could get you a.
You can forget about using the bathroom in some of these businesses in our communities. And to me, that's just the sign of respect.
For them.
It just show you how much they don't really fool with you.
Have you seen the bathroom at Wendy's across the street? Where they do fool with you? Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's bad. you been to the bathroom at the Shell across the street? Mm-mm. In that bathroom.
Is it one of them outdoor bathrooms?
Yes. And at that bathroom where it's all on you, you can purchase crack, heroin, or a young woman. Public bathroom. Yeah. I remember just a couple days ago, a guy came to the store and was like, "Hey, man, I got pills. You stop at this bathroom over here." I was like, "Dang, you done turned into an all-purpose you dig." I was like, "I'm a little uncomfortable with this conversation, sir. You got a bathroom?" "No, hell no, I ain't got one." "Why, so you could be pilled?" "No, sir. No,
Bathrooms
sir."
can be dangerous places.
Have you ever been to a bathroom where you felt like intimidated in the bathroom because you feel like it might be owned by some organization, perhaps?
The most thing I'm concerned about is
Somebody
a pervert with a camera somewhere.
Oh, I'm worried with a pervert with a key. That's what would worry me.
Nah,
Yeah.
I ain't worried about that.
It's not a lot of space in there. Hey, y'all be looking at bathrooms like, have you ever been to a bathroom and you be like, "I just can't go here. I gotta go," but
yes,
it makes everything go backwards.
I mean, after COVID, I'm just like, this probably got COVID in it. That's I'm like, I can't go. It's COVID in there. That's my measurement.
Oh my God. All right, y'all. Let's move on. I want to talk about this because I want to talk about this story because I think it's something that we need to be paying attention to that I don't know that we are. I want to talk about the fact that the Aldi left Auburn-Gresham. And it's really weird because, Ruthie, remember when I told you I lived in the 18th Ward? So there's an Aldi on 87th and Kedzie, I believe, if they didn't close it. There used to be an Aldi on 71st and Western. That closed and is now the home of AGB Security. Then after that closed, that was when I was in the 18th Ward. Then when that one closed, they opened an Aldi a little further north, like 60-something in Western, was it? 67th in Western or 71st in Western, where that was the grocery store, the Aldi that was there. And that was a new construction. They built it from the ground up. And the landlord, they didn't tell anybody, but they pulled up stakes on June 12th. Now, if you recall, Aldi also pulled up stakes on the West Side Aldi, earlier this year, creating 2 more food deserts. I also want to remind you that the Target lease expired and that closed, as well as Dang, there was one more that I had, and I just had a brain freeze on it. Oh, the Whole Foods closed. And I wanted to point something out that I don't know that we thought about, and I think that we need to be looking at this. During Rahm Emanuel's tenure as mayor, he was touted by downtown people as being a pro-business mayor. Rahm, quite frankly, knew his Achilles heel was in the black community. Mm-hmm. And so what he did was, as he made his friends rich, he told them that for me to make you rich, there's going to be a cost of doing business in the city of Chicago. And that cost of doing business is going to be to open up your locations in places that you wouldn't ordinarily open. And I will be able to claim that I have solved food deserts, retail deserts, all of those situations. And I would say for a short term, he did. Because if you think about during the Rahm Emanuel era, whether you liked him or not, this is not a Rahm commercial. He was known for bringing businessmen into the city of Chicago and also not being afraid to hammer them to get additional concessions. One of the concessions that he got was to get people like Starbucks, who closed on 79th, right? To get now that was there before him, but to get these companies, the Target, these Aldis, these people who filled gaps, retail gaps in black communities, as part of his success plan, so that you couldn't say food deserts. He could say, I built you a Whole Foods in Inglewood, right? They could say, I brought Aldi to these other low-cost food options that our community organizations and groups got behind because we hadn't seen that. And for Rahm, oftentimes those projects were provided by developers and they had subsidized rents. They had all types of agreements that allowed them, or incentives that made them stay at those locations. And when those incentives and when Rahm went away, they are now starting to fold. So if Rahm tells you, you want to open up the most profitable Whole Foods in the city of Chicago on the north side, I'm going to need you to give me this. I'm going to need you to invest and give me one in Inglewood that I'm going to put one of my guys with. We're going to give you subsidized rent. And I'm going to have this lease. I want you to sign a 5-year lease. Right? And then if it's thriving in 5 years and I'm still the mayor, you're going to sign another one. Right? So that, again, I'll make sure you're straight on the north side to offset this. I'll make sure you get prime real estate. I'll make sure you're able to go to places that you can maximize your profit. Well, guess what, Ruthie? Rahm is gone. Mm-hmm. And so who has the stick with these corporations to say, no, you better do it? And so now what I want you all to be paying attention to, and I know this is going to be something that you got to look at. It may be a little deeper. But Rahm solved his problems short term. Right? So if you can bring retail, think about when that Whole Foods opened on the south side. That was the biggest thing since sliced bread. As the mayor, if you didn't have a Laquan McDonald, a Whole Foods in Inglewood would be a story. Right? You saw the largest retail development in the history of the South Side go over on 119th off the expressway. Well, what happened when he left? You start to see the big retail anchors start to pull out because there was nobody to twist their arm. And so I feel like what we're seeing and what needs to happen and what the Black South Side needs to be thinking about is how many of these big deals that we thought were big deals these leases are expiring. And there is nothing to hold them there. You don't see people saying they're closing anything on the north side. Matter of fact, they're telling us we need to go there. And so, sometimes I don't think we get the politics. Am I making sense? So if I'm Rahm Emanuel and I know I got a black problem, I'm going to not pacify. I am going to leave my leverage, because all of those big businessmen that were making hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in Chicago, would do whatever Rahm asked them to do. And if he said, I need you to take this L over here, but I'm going to make it up for you over here. But if you take this L and I can keep the black people happy because I'm going to give them a Target, I'm going to give them a Starbucks in their neighborhood. So when you open up this giant Starbucks downtown, in the old Crate and Barrel location, I'm going to need you to open one up on the south side, because I can't have that Negro maid saying, look at what's in it for the black people. So now they're starting to find short-term mixes. And again, if you are now the CEO who's doing business and opening up Aldi's in Chicago, Rahm's going to call you and say, hey, Femo, as the tough guy, if you shut down my south side, because who would that fall on? That would fall on, if Rahm was in office, it would fall on him. The mayor can't say anything. What's she going to say to Aldi? Because does she have the existing relationships with the corporate giants? No, not really.
Well, I think, too, is really the reason why they publicly said that they're closing. The mayor can't fight against that right now. But,
right.
And for real, like, I need to see the data. Show me the data.
I don't think they have to.
Show me.
I'm with you, but I'm saying, you know what they say? Who gonna check me, boo?
That's what we really need the mayor to do, to push back if that data really does not support the narrative. Like, is that Aldi disproportionately being burglarized? Like, let me see that somewhere. They said it, but let me see it.
So okay.
So I need the mayor to say how she be defending Chicago. I need her to come out and defend Chicago. Defend Auburn-Gresham against the thought and the narrative that they steal and be burglarizing Aldi.
And so my premise is, she doesn't have the stick to do that.
Yeah, because the mayor can't, because stuff related to crime is falling in her lap.
And this is part of the dismantling of the mayor right now. This is the dismantling of the facade.
But you know what? This is like, it kind of makes me, like you said, like, okay, let's audit all these leases, but also ain't no city ordinances that stores can't just abruptly close. Can we get something on the books, Alderman?
So as a business owner, what, you gonna make me stay in business?
No, but can we get a month notice or something? I get why they ain't say nothing, because it would have been people out there protesting. I get it. Probably would have been people out there that was like, I'm finna run up in here for real now. Give me some bell peppers.
So I guess my thing is, again, is that what's their corporate culture? I don't know.
Aldi is like decent wages for people. Like, that's always been a thing with Aldi, is decent wages. The prices used to be, a little bit cheaper than what they are now. Like, if you go to an Aldi in a poorer neighborhood versus an Aldi in like a more affluent neighborhood, it really is night and day. You could tell it's owned by Trader Joe's when you go to the Aldi in the nice neighborhoods.
So my question becomes, whose responsibility is it? Like, why would a company close if they're making money?
They wouldn't. They would stay open, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that we find that the excuse for most of the locations is usually the same. Right?
High theft, right? Ain't that how they closed the Best Buy down we had in the hood? That's how they closed down Target. They ain't saying that about Whole Foods, though.
Aldi.
They saying that about Aldi.
Any truth to it?
I think yes. I'm not gonna say that they lie. I do want to see the data and the numbers to see if it's disproportionate, because people steal from everywhere. But I don't think a store would close if it was making money, because that's what they in business to do, is make money. But is it something related to, okay, these government benefits ain't coming through as much?
Well, that would be the point. Like, to me, the point is I don't want to say there was a false economy created. You had a strongman business mayor who could. Sometimes there is a calculated loss. And the mayor says to Aldi, you want me to be the mayor so you can continue to blow up in this marketplace? I'm going to need you to take this L over here in Auburn-Gresham. Like, I know that's going to be the high theft store. That's going to be the worst. It ain't going to make you no money. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to fix you up here, and I'll make it balance out somewhere else. Mm-hmm. This mayor doesn't necessarily have that stick. And I think we're going to see this continue to happen over the next 2 months or 3 months as part of a dismantling. See, I think that there's something much bigger going on as in this mayor's race. And I think it even is playing out with these leases. There is a deflowering of the mayor happening right now, where you're going to see an avalanche of negativity coming against her, which is going to force her back to black people even more. And if y'all ain't got no answer, y'all just being like, oh, I feel sorry for you, we gonna be stuck. Mm. But I think yesterday when we saw the mayor lost her battle in City Hall for the to keep the red light, to keep the speed cameras, mm-hmm. I think it signals she couldn't get it out of committee to a full floor vote.
The 10 miles per hour
yes.
thing, right? Okay.
So she wanted to, the city made, by lowering the camera speed to 10 miles to 6 miles, they made $30 million more.
I contributed to it. I know.
And so yesterday, Alderman Anthony Beal beat her. And I gotta ask you, man. And they tried every trick, and then they lost all of their tricks.
Because before that, didn't they cancel it so that they wouldn't have to?
Yep.
What is that called?
Defer.
Okay.
So, well, let's back up. First, he abruptly canceled the meeting. With the goal, he abruptly canceled the meeting because the mayor didn't have the votes.
Who is he?
Alderman Scott Wagerspack, the chairman of the finance committee. He's the mayor's finance.
Can you give me some politics 101? So, is it a thing like beforehand, Alderman Wagerspack had already talked to the other alderman to see if it would pass, and once he realized it couldn't, he canceled it so that the mayor wouldn't be embarrassed,
yes,
like on city council floor because it wouldn't pass.
Yes, so
got it.
Scott Wagerspack is the finance chair. He replaced Ed Burke. That's supposed to be the most powerful committee in city council. 2 days ago, Scott Wagerspack, they had a meeting where let's back up. Alderman Beal had an ordinance to raise the threshold on the speed cameras. The mayor deferred and published it. What that means is the mayor said he asked for a vote. The mayor gets 2 city council members. They say, no, we don't want to hold this vote. Any 2 members can defer and publish anything, and then you have to wait 2 more days before you can bring it back. In that, then Alderman Wagerspack, when it got on the committee and it was coming up for a vote, they realized that they didn't have the votes to win, so Alderman Wagerspack abruptly adjourned the meeting, right? So that there could be no vote. Came back, and then they tried to, and what that did was give the mayor overnight to have her people make promises, deals, etc. They come back to vote again. They look to see if they can stop it, but they've already used their defer and publish, and they don't have the votes. And so yesterday, the mayor, for the first time in my history that I can remember, a sitting Chicago mayor was defeated. A vote for the mayor was defeated by a city council. And I think it is part of what we are going to start to see.
Did you just say for the first time in history?
For the first time in my history that I can remember.
Are you serious?
When has the mayor ever lost a vote? I think.
Oh, wow.
Did Mayor Daley ever lose a vote? Did Rahm ever lose a vote?
Hold on, Mace. Can you, if you don't mind, like, what is it about this particular thing? Like, is it really about the threshold, or is it like?
Well, I think it is about
else?
the threshold, but I think it's also about deflowering the mayor, right? Like, I think right now, So the business community is the money people are trying to figure out who is the candidate for the mayor. The mayor is trying to kill everybody in the cradle so that the business community doesn't have an option but to go with her, to feel like she's next. Well, what just happened with this is nobody in the business space has ever felt like they've seen a mayor get beat. It might be 26, 24. Now, this to me opens the floodgates for anybody, but I would tell you that most of the people that have announced early probably are not going to be there at the end, with the exception of probably Dr. Wilson, only because in their eagerness to get into the race, they have all of this time for the mayor and anybody who plans to seriously get in the race to drop the stories and start to kill them before they can get any momentum. Right now, what just happened with the mayor and with these speed cameras puts a tremendous damper on her ability to raise money from people who were thinking, well, who's going to beat her? In the meantime, pay attention. Like you saw what they did to our guy Cam the other day. They are now, and this goes to my premise of, do we have a real vetting process? I was saying, Ruthie, sometimes, and this is not, sometimes black folks will let you keep a booger in your nose and nobody will say anything. And you'll be standing up there, you'll have a speech, you'll go on TV, and all of us saw you had a booger. But we didn't tell you had a booger. And so then when somebody makes fun of you for the booger and your feelings are hurt, we could have told you had a booger.
Got it.
Black folks be like, oh, ignore the booger. Nobody will see it. And I think that's kind of where we are right now. But I think that the mayoral candidate has not, probably the person that's going to emerge has not entered the race yet.
What? That is a strong prediction.
What's my name?
Nostradamus.
The person that is going to probably be the front runner is not in the race yet. Not in the race yet. Now, I'm not saying things can't change, but the presumed front runner, they're going to let the mayor is doing murder jobs right now. The mayor is killing people. So let the mayor do as much killing as she can. And then after she does all of the damaging stuff, then you come in and focus your energy on the mayor. But it's happening as we speak. And so, look, let's take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to continue the conversation. Don't forget, 8 o'clock, we are going to be talking to Alderman Pat Dowell. She's running for Congress in the 1st Congressional District. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
My mom would say, Carrie, don't talk about it, be about it. My name is Carrie K. Still, and as president of the Water Reclamation District, I lead an agency with a $1 billion budget, AAA bond rating. We've increased transparency while we've reduced our reliance on tax dollars. Now, my opponent has been all talk and broken promises. The Sun-Times said Kagi's office is riddled with mismanagement, hurting our seniors, our veterans, and our property tax bills are going to be late again. Look, we all knew 4 years ago that the Cook County property tax system was broken and needed to be reformed. And unfortunately, it still does. That's why I'm asking for your vote June 28th, punch number 112. Because I won't spend the next 4 years talking about it. I'll be about it. Vote for me, Carrie K. Still, as your next Democratic Cook County assessor. This message has been paid for by friends of Carrie Still.
Carrie Still, Cook County assessor.
And now, traffic and weather.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 7:40 a.m. I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area sports, traffic, and weather update. As we head over to sports, the Chicago Cubs continue to lose as they fall 7-1 against the Pirates. As the White Sox stays hot and they win 7-6 against the Blue Jays. The Chicago Sky made history last night as they came back from down 28 down to beat the WNBA's best team, Aces, 104-95. Head over to traffic on the Kennedy. O'Hare to the loop and back is 37 minutes. On the Edens, Deerfield to the Exchange, 44 minutes. Exchange to Deerfield, will be 39 on the Eisenhower. Thorndale to the Loop is an hour and 6 minutes, 48 minutes to Thorndale. While the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan will be 44 minutes. Outbound will be the same. The Bishop Ford, I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 36 minutes, 26 minutes to I-80. While the Dan Ryan is 20 minutes to the Loop, 12 minutes to 95th. On DuSable Drive South, 55th to Jackson will be 13 minutes. Jackson to 55th will be 8. On the north side, ran out to Bryn Mawr and back will be 8 minutes. Today's weather is currently 82 and partly cloudy. Today will be a high of 88 with a low of 70. I'm Riis the Ruler. Happy Hump Day here on The Maze Jackson Show.
I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you find the right man who fix it for you. And are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? And did you have to pay this fine that you've been dodging all the time? Are you still dizzy? Since I come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Oh, stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over there? Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you're doing. In my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over there? Why don't you come on over, Valerie?
I'm so glad that the Lord keeps on blessing. Y'all, I must say, every day He's making a way. Ooh, keep on blessing me. Blessed in the city, blessed in the field, even when you come and go. I'm so glad that the Lord keeps on blessing me. Y'all, I must say, in spite of, He just keeps on. Yeah, keep on blessing me. Oh, keep on blessing me, blessing me, blessing me. In spite of me, He keeps on blessing me, blessing me. I don't deserve it. He keeps on blessing me, blessing me. All the time, He keeps on blessing me, blessing me. Lord, we need you. Lord, we need you. Lord, we need you. Can't make it unless you. We need
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the rule on the ones and twos. Shout out to Miss Ruthie Moore in the building. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, I'll tell y'all what. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I got my man, DJ Riis, the ruler, and Ruthie Moore. Hey, y'all. Just a few minutes, we're going to be talking to 3rd Ward Alderman and candidate for 1st Congressional District, Alderman Pat Dowell in the building. But in the meantime, Ruthie, and Riis, did we ever open up the phone lines? Give us a call, 872-259-7474, 872-259-7474. Do y'all think I'm too much of a conspiracy theorist? I really do think that. I always feel like when I talk to landlords in commercial real estate places like that, they usually do like multi-year leases, like 10-year, 15-year leases, right? Like when you think about your neighborhood grocery store, it's usually been there. Even if the name changes, it's been there. And like the concept that a Whole Foods would sign a 5-year lease for all of that investment, it just makes me think about how easy it is for people to walk away from. We see these big monstrous structures, but what does that mean for that? Oh, so we saw the last Aldi's repurposed into an opportunity. Shout out to AGB Security, who took a giant empty building and used it to expand their security company. But what does that big giant Aldi's now in Auburn-Gresham become? Dare I make a guess? Would you like for me to place a guess on what it becomes? Because at a certain point, I don't know that another grocery store goes there, because they're going to look at the same story and say, why we go there? So it's going to be one of two types of things that are going to go there. It will be a hair supply store, or it will be reoccupied by another grocer who recognizes he has a captive audience. I would give you an example of, let's say Pete's.
What it turn into?
No, I would say so I would say a Pete's could maybe take that space. And think about the Pete's on 87th, right? They charge a little bit.
87th and West Stony?
No, not that Pete's. The Pete's on 87th and like between Ashland and Damon.
Okay, the big one.
No, that's not big. You talking about the one on 95th. That's the big one.
Oh, yeah.
So there's one on 87th that's east by Stony. That's baby. There's one that's on like right by the old chicken place. That's Eat and Run. That's the second one. There's a big one by my house, but that services white folks. There's a difference between the ones that service white folks and the ones that service black folks. Look at the two Pete's on 87th that service black folks. Then look at the Pete's on 95th. Then look at the Pete's on by my house that has a wine, a cheese section, deli, all of that. But I think that we're going to see, again, we still haven't identified a black grocer. So now, again, if that becomes a food desert, somebody is going to, I would bet you that somewhere in the space that there was a subsidy that helped pay for that building. Like, because I could not understand for the life of me why they would build an Aldi 10 blocks from the one that was already existing. Right? No, think about the Aldi on 78th, and then this was on 67th. So they killed the one that they had in the 18th ward and then moved it to the 17th ward, right? On the same block, less than a mile away from each other. That was not what we think of as big money is not big money when it comes to building something like that. And so I would challenge you to look at all of the retail development that has happened on the south or west sides during the Rahm Emanuel era and see how many CVS closed on the west side, right? Look at how many Walgreens closed. See, those are corporate responsibility. Now, I'm not here to tout Rahm. What I am here to tell you is, guys, they were smart enough to hedge their bets. Man, I do this as long as you the mayor, but hey, fam, if you ain't gonna make sure I'm straight over here, I can't keep doing this.
Because they look at it as benevolence.
Yes, they weren't opening the stores. I know you feel like I'm not saying we're not consumers, but they were not opening those stores in those locations just because of, not even because they couldn't make money, but because of that level of theft. It's like, it's not worth the hassle.
Allegedly.
I'm with you.
I read in the paper, Alderman Morris said that he had just talked to them and they wanted like packaged goods and like the ability to sell liquor. And I'm wondering if that went through and now they like, yes, we zone for liquor. We'll get a higher price in the sale.
No, the liquor license is with the company.
So that's not a part of the incentive package for them to sell.
Now let's back up. If the people who know how to take advantage of our pain and suffering are able to negotiate the opportunity to buy the liquor license, but if I was, because the liquor, actually, they probably could buy. If the liquor license is a corporation, they could just take over the corporation. So if, say, the people that get it take it over and say they could make it the world's largest liquor store, and then sell you some pops and chips in the meantime. But again, what I really want you to look at is, I want to see all of the major retail development that happened on the south side of Chicago during the Rahm Emanuel years, and I want to see the leases. So anytime you've seen one of these big places pop up, and I'm not talking about West Loop, I'm not talking about, hey, Riis, could you let them in the door? I'm not talking, and then turn that TV on out there too. I'm not talking about West Loop. Oh, and bring the caller on. I'm not talking about West Loop or South Loop. I'm talking about those places where we celebrated those. Oh my God, we just got this big grand opening. Those ribbon cuttings were short-term ribbon cuttings that were on a 5-year renewable plan. My man went to Japan, and that's where the lease went. Caller, you on the Mace Jackson Show. Caller?
Yo, what's good, bro? What's going on? Good morning, Ruthie. Good morning, Riis.
What up, Devo?
Hey, man. Just I just want to definitely give you your kudos for your leadership and vision for the monumental thing that happened yesterday. Hold on. And you know, with your guests, with respect to your guests coming on, we do need to see the data, because the narrative is always black people stealing. But then I got to balance that out with all this spending power that they tell us that we have that leaves the community. If my tax dollar can go into Oak Park to Target, then the Target that was closest to my house should still be there, because the people from Beverly came into that Target as well as the one on 87th Street. And there was no accountability or discussion with the community on why those businesses left. So, you know, again, I'm not giving nobody no more free ideas. I want the guests to come on and discuss what is her vision for innovation and economic development within the 1st Congressional District. She was there. She was a floor leader. She's been a leader in city council. I want to hear leaders lead. I need to see leaders lead in. So that's pretty much it. But like I said, bro, kudos to you for having the vision. Shout out to the people that took advantage of the opportunity and listen. That's important. That's what we have to do. You put the call out for unity and people listen. And the people that listen, they get my my support because that's what we have to do. And if you didn't show up, then it's a problem. If you didn't have nothing that you was more important to do. But other than that, bro, keep doing your thing, man. Be one, whippable. Love y'all. And y'all have a great day, man.
Appreciate you, Dowell. Appreciate you in your call. Why you
Because part of me does feel like businesses should have the right to operate in a way that is profitable to them.
What do you mean you part of? What do you mean part of you?
I mean,
what the hell am I in business?
What about corporate social responsibility? Like,
I'm okay. I'm down with corporate social responsibility, but like the corporate social responsibility component of it's a two-way thing. Like, if I'm gonna be corporately responsible, like, I do think you got to protect the store. No, here's me.
If your store get burglarized a few times,
not burglarized. If you know that people are walking in the store and they plan it.
They said the word burglarized. Like, ain't that different from somebody just walking in and stealing
and so
the potatoes?
if you willing to break in to the grocery store, hey man, that's not a fight I got every day.
Repeated theft, and what you can't fortify something? That seems like an inside job to me.
I'm saying why? Like, so what you're saying is I should spend time, energy, and effort
to protect your investment. Yes.
I don't take that investment.
And they got insurance. Like, they ain't taking
y'all
no L's.
Y'all be acting like these are victimless crimes. Have you ever seen your insurance rate go up?
All the time.
Okay, so there it is. Somebody has to pay. And it's like,
why is it the residents of Auburn-Gresham?
Because the Auburn,
I saw that they had a black lady on the news because she had walked with her little grocery walker to get her groceries, and she was crying. Broke my heart.
Ruthie, it broke my heart too.
So why do she gotta suffer? Why shouldn't Aldi take the L?
Ruthie, because Aldi is from Switzerland, and they like, what do I care? This is where you gotta read the 48 Laws of Power.
No, how about
hold on? Let me give you 48 Laws of Power. Right? Do not appeal to people's altruism. Appeal to their self-interest. You saying, oh, Aldi, please feel sorry for me because that mug live in Switzerland. He don't care about your pain and suffering because he in the Swiss Alps. So us begging someone to be like, oh, we have been truly treated wrong in Auburn-Gresham.
Yeah.
Which
we made Aldi. We was the original people putting them quarters in them buggies to get that stuff.
I'm saying we still waiting on somebody else to feed us. So here's what I want you to do, because this is all I want y'all to do. I want y'all to start looking at the leases so we can get mad all at one time. Right? Let's look, because it's getting ready to happen. What you're about to see is all of these leases that were out in the neighborhoods, now that they don't have a business-minded person to fortify them who understands business, who ain't thinking like Ruthie, like, yo, just take the L. No, what he has done is said, I know you're going to take a L, so I'm going to make it compensate for you over here. As compared to somebody just saying, oh, hey, yo, take the L. If I'm a shareholder, I'm going to be like, why would I want to put my 401k against, close that place so I don't lose no more of my 401k?
And that's why capitalism does not work for us.
I'm with you, except for the fact that if you got a 401k, it's a lot of black people got 401ks that may be invested. I am suggesting, guys, we still can't feed our damn selves. Like, here's the deal. Aldi closed and black people crying. Some people in Switzerland said, you know what? We're out of the south side of Chicago. And black people are like, why, Mr. Switz out, man, would you leave us here all alone? What have you not? This is America. Okay, so let me just tell you one more time. All of these places that were popping up during this era are going to start. So we're going to be crying the same thing 5, 6, 7, 8 more times. Instead of saying at some point, damn it, we got to feed ourselves. I 100% understand what you're saying about Aldi, but I again think that we start from the place of somebody please help us. How many times do I have to tell y'all it ain't no Calvary? It ain't now. And it's like every time they prove it ain't no Calvary, we be like, where's the Calvary? Aldi, And you know who ain't gonna close on your side of town though?
Who ain't gonna close?
Nike, Foot Locker, Champs.
Yeah, because it'd be a line to get up in that mud.
All I'm saying is, they not closing because they built a model around this premise. They went in with the premise that we know we selling against the heart. That's why the Arab stores survive so well, because they go into the place bulletproof and saying because I got a captive audience. You got a captive audience. Look at what's happening.
You can't even use the bathroom.
Man, and guess what? And they tell you can't use the bathroom, and guess what we be like? Why you treat us like this? We pay you all this money. You get to go back to Palos, and we...
Can I get 2 on the quick pick?
Captive audience. You got a captive audience. You can do them any kind of way you want to, and what you going to do. Okay, I'm going to take this last call, and we're going to get off. We got Alderman Dowell is in the building, so we're going to talk to her. 1st Congressional District. I know people got questions, so we're going to get into it. But real quick, caller, what's your message? What you got?
Hey, good morning, Maze. Can you hear me, bro?
Yes, I can.
Okay. It's funny hearing you say that we can't feed ourselves. Every time I hear this conversation being made about a store being closed or what they didn't took from us, it makes the Honorable Elijah Muhammad so relevant, even though when he was here, he wasn't relevant because we refused to listen. He said, Nation of Islam has preached this since day one. The 2 major things you need to do in your community is be able to educate your community and feed your community. 2 things we don't do, we allow others to do. And that's where we went wrong. During the civil rights era, not that they was against the civil rights era, but they said that wasn't important for black people at the time. He said the amount of the energy we was putting in forth marching, we should have been putting that in forth building for our community. Stop trying to integrate their schools and their accountants and build your own. And he talked about this day right now today where we would be begging them to feed us. And that's exactly what we're doing right now. I think about even though that Aldi's on 76 and Ashland that closed, I knew it was going to close because it wasn't just them stealing. It was the mentality around the area itself. You know, you had people begging. You know, they getting in fights in the store. It was chaotic over there. I knew that was going to happen, but that's because our people are sick. I think about where I live. I live out in the south suburbs, and I live out in Richmond Park, and the surrounding area around Richmond Park, you have Homewood Flossmoor, you have Olympia Fields, you have Matson, you have Country Club Hills, you have Creek. And in these areas, I would say it's a very stable middle class living out there. But yet still, we have a few big box stores, but yet still, everything major that we need, and they do this purposely. We have to go 5 miles east, which is Philly Park or Orland, when they got everything. And you know who benefits from our dollars? It's Philly Park and Orland. They benefit from our tax dollars. It ain't that these corporations can't put in an area like a Homewood Flossmoor or Olympia Fields because the buying power is there. They don't want to invest in you anymore.
Let me back up. Let me stop you right there, James. I'm going to stop you, and then I'm going to let you go. But let me say this. There has been a move nationally to regional shopping, and what you have found is that there is a movement across the country. If you look, retail across the country is being moved to central locations that force black folks to come to white communities, spend, and then take it back to their community. Same situation that's going here. I remember when we was growing up and we lived in the city where we would go to the suburbs to go grocery shopping because we knew we could get a better set of stuff and all types of those different things. I just need for you to be clear. This is going to keep happening, right? And again, when do we feed ourselves? Hey, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. When we come back, we are going to be talking to 3rd Ward Alderman and 1st Congressional District candidate, Alderman Pat Dowell. Look, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
WIIFTBPM. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
Jackson.
Tune in to The Maze Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m., where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 AM. That's right, it's The Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them, Maze said. We out of here. Peace.
Yeah, Ruthie Mo, Riis the ruler, Maze Jackson. This is the reparations interlude. We not asking, we demanding. So go on, make my payments high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Not no SBA loans, just run the bread, make it high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Look, hey, check it out. First drug lord was President Nixon. Oval Office was the strap house where he was tipping back. Got the drug from Nicaragua and gave us crack. Declared war on blacks. Man, tell him to cut the check and tried to make it seem like a revolution. CIA was the corner boys for distribution. We could tear this country in half for retribution. But I'd rather get some restitution, so tell him to cut the check. John Singleton, man, he already told y'all. He broke it down for you when he made Snowfall. They locked us all up and created whole laws. So send a message like a cold call. Tell them to cut the check. Look, we built this city. We built this city. Back, put this country together and gave him hella aid. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Over 400 years. Been punching the clock, but yeah, we still ain't got paid. Look, they paying the immigrants. They paid the Jews. Executive orders, man, they made the rules. I want my 40 acres, you can save the mule. Cause as of right now, we getting played for the fool. Look, for sterilization, Tuskegee experiment, Rosewood, Japanese internment. Come on, was all paid out from the government. We waiting on our turn, we definitely earned it. So make my payment high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Not no SBA loans, just run the bread, make it high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Not no stimulus checks, just run the bread, make it high. Yeah, Ruthie Mo, Riis the ruler, Maze Jackson. This is the reparations interlude. We not asking, we demanding.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said. Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on their body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You won't have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you can put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to Senate. We need some different players in the game to handle business. So many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA gets spilled on. Carjackers out there lurking, trying to get their steel on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let this give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up the seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this is a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. It is Wednesday, 6/22, 8/12. That means you got 48 minutes to get to the gig if you are on your way to work, if you're not working from home. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. Catch us every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. You can catch us 6 to 9 on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And don't forget, 6:30 to 8, the Saints join us on WBGX 1570 a.m. They get here with us from 6:30. They stay till 8. The Sinners get here at 6. They got to stay. They get here early, stay a little late till 9 o'clock. You all know that it is election season, it's political season. And in political season, we said that we were going to have what we call open 8s. 8 o'clock hour is open for any political candidate that is running for office in the June 2028 primary. And we have offered this opportunity, and a lot of candidates have taken advantage of it. And today we have in the building 3rd Ward Alderman Pat Dowell, who is also now a candidate for the 1st Congressional District. Welcome to the Maze Jackson Show, Alderman. And you got to talk straight into the mic.
Gotta talk straight into the mic.
Talk to the
Thank
mic.
you, Maze. Thanks. Good to be here. I think this is really the first time in a long time that you and I have had a conversation like this.
Yes, we have. I'll go back just real quick, just for some history, though. Just so y'all know, long time ago, I remember Alderman Dowell when I had an office on Adams. And I remember the first time that you were running for alderman, and I think I was thinking about running at the same. Well, I actually was running at the same time, and so we actually got into the game, the political game. You won, I lost. Actually, you won. You lost the first time, and then you won the second time. And so many of the friends that I had that helped me in the city of Chicago were involved in your campaign. Shout out to Big Phil Lowry. Shout out to Will and a whole bunch of other brothers who used to be over in Princeton Park area. It was a movement. I remember that.
Rest in peace, Phil.
Yes. Alderman Dowell, welcome to the Maze Jackson Show. I know in our past, since that time, we haven't always seen eye to eye. We have had some significant disagreements. But I think right now, one of the missions that I have in this space is really to try to figure out how do we get past I don't want to call it the generational curse, but there seems to be something in our community that figures a way that we can always find a way to fight with each other without figuring out a way to work together. And I think more times than not, when we don't talk, then we don't figure out what our commonalities are. So I let me say it. This conversation began with Brother Obadeli. We kind of buried our hatchet way back. We all had some long-term beefs, but I think everybody recognizes the black community is in a peculiar place.
Yeah, I call it the intensive care unit.
The intensive. Oh, okay. So let's do this. Let's start here, Alderman. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background as the 3rd Ward Alderman, and then I want you to tell me why you're running for Congress.
Well, I am when I think about how to describe myself to your audience, I would say that I am a longtime public servant. genuine from the heart, passionate about our communities. I am somebody that has always been, someone that always fought for the underdog. When I was in high school, if you picked on people that I thought, was being picked on, I would come to the rescue. You would have to fight me after school.
Dang.
I was one of those types.
Was you always
I was always
the biggest
taller,
person in the class?
Always.
Did you whoop them?
Me and Kim Barnett, we were always the tallest.
Okay.
So, I always looked out for the underdog. I'm also someone that likes to fill voids.
Okay.
Somebody that I consider to be a problem solver, and just somebody that is passionate about doing good work. I'm not motivated by money. I'm not motivated by power. I am motivated by the desire to see something better for our communities.
So talk to me about what would you call your biggest accomplishments in the Third Ward? We've seen a tremendous change in the Third Ward. Talk to me about your accomplishments, and then balance that with kind of the changes that have happened in the Third Ward as well.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a problem solver. So we lived in a food desert. So I would say one of my biggest accomplishments is bringing 2 Mariano grocery stores to the South Side. The renovation of the Rosenwall, when people wanted me to tear that building down, to demolish it. That building holds so much history for Black people in Chicago. I thought it was important to renovate it and to fill it back up with African American businesses. So Sean Michelle's Ice Cream and Sip and Savor and Evanston Technology Partners, who was there for a while, plus some Black professionals in the office building part. Excess tennis, I think, is a major accomplishment. When people were asking, why do we need to bring a tennis facility into the community? Black folks don't play tennis. They do.
Okay.
Kids get scholarships to go to college or for tennis. And that development has created a lot of jobs for the electricians, the caterers, the security. We've had international competitions come in there into the Third Ward, into the low end. We've had Bridgerton, the Bridgerton experience is there now.
Shout out to Cousin Juan. Oh, talk closer into the mic. I'll turn it up too. Go ahead.
Has generated a lot of economic activity around it. I think the last thing I'm proud of is just the number of African American businesses I have helped get started, businesses in Bronzeville, businesses in the South Loop when, people didn't think Black folks and Black businesses should be in the South Loop, to support those businesses going forward, and they're doing well. I'm all about supporting the dreams of young entrepreneurs, and also about, helping people create generational wealth.
Okay. Then I need to talk to you about a liquor license, but that's a whole nother story. Let's talk about it. We'll talk about that at a different time.
I have some concerns about liquor licenses. I'm very, very, not that I don't like to do them. I just want to make sure that I don't have issues when I do support them.
Completely understood. I just, one of the things that a challenge for a lot of Black businesses is that, like, when you go north, obviously I do a lot of stuff in 27, is that the white guys start with the premise of having a liquor license because that becomes the basis of their building, of their economics, and it makes it a much more appealing location. But I don't want to get stuck on liquor licenses right now. I got 2 big questions, and then I want to go into the congressional race, but I feel like there's no way we can have this conversation without me addressing the 2 biggest issues that I think probably exacerbated our discord. The 2 things are the NTA Academy and the Mollison School. What I'd like to do is I'd like you to give us your side of the NTA debate. I think there was $25 million that we were concerned about being moved to move what we thought were young Black kids out of a school. I think that got resolved. And then I want to talk about Mollison and kind of, I remember the issue with the mice and got into let me say this, I have refrained from name calling. right?
Rat Dowell.
So let me say, right? I would tell you that I have, over the course of time, stopped making people nicknames and realized that the platform isn't necessarily to vilify anybody. And I would hope that even over the course of this campaign, you probably don't listen to the show, but we have really worked very hard to give everybody a fair opportunity to share their platform without necessarily trying to trash them. So I haven't used that reference in
No, I know.
Clearly we have not used that reference in over a year. Matter of fact, probably 2 years after we had some conversations. But talk to me about that and what didn't we understand about NTA and your involvement there, and then what didn't we understand about Mollison and the unclean schools?
Yeah, let me explain about, let's deal with Mollison first.
Okay.
First of all, I live right across the street from Mollison Elementary.
Okay.
I have a great relationship with the principal there, at the time, the principal there, the LSC members, various parents who I, speak to when they're walking their kids to school who live in the neighborhood. It is a neighborhood school. So I'm pretty much attuned to what's going on in that school. When the school is, had that mice problem, I found out about it because some parents came over to my ward office unannounced, without an appointment, sat down with me and explained to me what was going on in the school. I got on it right away, which is the role of an alderman's office, to make sure that CPS does what it's supposed to do, bring in the resources and clean out that school. That was the only school in the ward, to my knowledge, that had a mice problem, and we took care of it. It got blown out of proportion, I think, because it was, first of all, it was started in the kindergarten class, right? So, we're talking about our babies, and parents got very upset, as they should. But this was not a lack of care, a lack of me not paying attention to what was going on in the school. Like I said, I live right across the street. I'm keenly attuned to that school. That's the school that I go to every first day of school to give away book bags. So Mollison is, I keep my eye on. It was an unfortunate situation. We cleaned it up real quick. And there has not been a problem since.
What power do you have at CPS, within CPS as an
Not really. None really. CPS is a separate government body. The city council does not oversee CPS. That is controlled strictly by the mayor's office. We don't approve their budget. When there is a change in the CPS, the Board of Education, the board members, we don't approve them. We can only call them in through the work of the committee. And at the time, the committee now has been headed by Alderman Michael Scott, who resigned. And that's the only way we have any power over CPS. I have tried to use the power that I have as alderman with CPS under the control of the TIF funds. So I have taken surplus TIF money to give to to bring it out of the city government and give it to the schools in my area to do things like special programs, to buy more technology, to pay for a social worker, whatever the schools want to use that money for. I was the first alderman in city council to actually use surplus TIF dollars in that way. I've done probably about $3 million in surplus money that has been divided to my schools, both high school and elementary.
And then tell me about NTA real quick. And then after we get to NTA, I want to get into the congressional race.
NTA was, the population in the South Loop has grown. I represent the South Loop from Roosevelt Road all the way down to the 22nd Street.
That used to be the low end, though. Like, I feel a certain way about that 22nd to, that was where we all came up. There was the Cotton Club. It was E2 before it had its, it felt like the low end used to be ours, and it doesn't feel that way. And I think that.
Well, I would disagree a little bit, Maze, because if you go down on 22nd Street, there are a number of black businesses there: Catwalk, Success, Jerk Villa, Williams Inn Pizza, Windy City Riis.
I was gonna talk a little smack because you do have quite a bit. I have noticed as I get in that area that there are a lot of black businesses in a prime location in that cluster. So I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But talk to me about NTA.
So NTA, I was saying that the population has grown in the South Loop exponentially. We need a near South High School. My goal was to try to consolidate the elementary schools into two buildings, one which was new, which was built at 16th and Dearborn, and the other one, which was at 12th and Plymouth, into one school, not to be named NTA, not to be named South Loop Elementary, but to combine a new school, combine those kids in both the South Loop and NTA into those two buildings, and to use the NTA building, which was a newer building, as a high school for the South Loop. Those kids that would be consolidated into the elementary school had an automatic pass into the high school. We were going to try to consolidate the staffing so that no kid would walk into a school and not know the faculty, not know the teachers, not know the people who work in the lunchrooms. It didn't work.
Okay. I can accept that. I would say I know that the parents, it was a tremendous organizing effort that happened around that. Now we see it's come back because they are talking about a new $170 million high school that they're budgeted. But I'm going to leave that alone because I wanted to get past all of that stuff. And I do think that we should have some additional conversations. See, I'm not a bad guy. I'm not terrible.
And I'm not terrible either.
I hear it. See, we're sitting here. We started out cool. So let me go here, Alderman. You are, we have determined in our gut reaction that this race has really boiled down to two people, this congressional race with 17 candidates in the race. It really seems to be down to 4. But if you were to ask me, I would probably handicap yourself and Jonathan Jackson in the first 2 slots. I would probably look at Jackie Collins and Jonathan Swain as probably a distant 3rd and 4th. I don't know what the polling is showing, but this is kind of how I'm seeing it roll out. Talk to me about why you are the best candidate to be in the 1st congressional district.
I think of let's just leave it at the first 2. I think when you compare me against the second person you mentioned, I have real results. I mean, real work that I've done that is visible, that people can see. I have helped create an economic infrastructure in my own ward that I'm very proud of, that supports African Americans. I have legislative experience passing a vacant lot ordinance that became a model for the nation, creating the Council Office of Financial Analysis, which is an independent financial arm for the City Council. I've had some legislation related to transparency around minority business enterprises, so that, over time I've seen a lot of white contractors come to me. They want to do work, and I've always demanded that they have partnerships with African Americans. So a lot of the buildings that you see going up in my ward are partnerships or joint ventures between between white and black, not minority, white and black.
Look at that. Okay.
Contractors, and I'm very proud of that. I don't go around thumping my chest about that, but and I should, because I have found in this race I have to show my bona fides, right? So that's the bona fide. I believe that no other candidate in this race has the on the ground experience of actually delivering real results for people. Do not have the legislative experience. I'm chair of the budget committee, so I have an understanding of how budgets get put together, where the revenue comes from, how the expenditures are made, how to negotiate with people around certain elements in the budget so you can get people to support your ideas or support the budget going forward. That's not easy. And I don't think that the second person that you mentioned has that kind of experience at all.
So I would be remiss then if I wouldn't say, but what we have seen and what we know is that in these races, money plays a big factor. One of the things that has been so bothersome to me is I've been watching the Sean Casten Marie Newman race, and I've been watching all the money that's flooded into that race. And it seems like now all of a sudden at the last minute, money is flooding into the black races to try and kind of jump in. Talk to me about our access to capital in these political races, and then talk to me a little bit about what you're thinking about these independent expenditures that are flying around.
Yeah, I think in the first congressional district, there are portions of the first congressional district that are very marginalized, right? We don't have the economic infrastructure. It's something that I really do want to focus on. When I think of communities like Robbins and Markham, and even places like the Auburn-Gresham and other places, we need to create more of an economic fabric in those communities, which is something that I'm committed to. So I think it's harder for candidates to raise money in districts like that, where they're not as rich as other districts. I'm very disappointed about the flow of this cryptocurrency money that's coming into our communities. When I go door to door, most people are not talking to me about cryptocurrency. They're talking about the bread and butter issues: gas, groceries, guns, healthcare, infrastructure. People want their roads fixed, their sidewalks and alleys done. We're talking about youth employment. And what we're going to do to help our young people. That's what I'm hearing at the doors, not cryptocurrency. So I have to question, why are those billionaires making that investment in the first congressional district? Why are they investing in certain candidates? And I'll just name Mr. Jackson. In this race, what do they have to gain? I think it's important that we, as elected officials, should be able to be trusted by our constituents, that they know that we're going to represent their interests when we get to Congress, not the interests of the people who are bringing them to the dance. And in this case, the cryptocurrency guys have no currency in the first congressional district.
Tell me about the role of money in winning elections. I saw that now that money is going to TV and mail. Talk to me about your path to victory here. And let me jump backwards. You started out in this race, started this election cycle in the Secretary of State's race. It got super contentious, and then you decided to move to the congressional race. What motivated that decision?
When I did not get slated by the Cook County Democratic Party, and I felt that I should have been slated, given that I've been a committeeman since 2008, that I have increased the voter turnout in my ward over time. We used to be in the low 20s of wards, like in the 20th, like between 20 and 30. Now we're in the top 10, right? So I've worked hard in that party, so I thought I should be rewarded because of that. When that didn't happen, I came in second in the vote. I actually was going to continue to run against the party. And then who knew that Congressman Rush was going to announce that he would, and this would be his last term. And I thought about that job and the fact that it was better suited for me in terms of policy, in terms of being able to get resources from the federal government. I'm great at getting resources at the city government and bringing it back to my ward. I figured I could do that for the district. the policy perspective that I could bring to Washington, some of the fights that, I do want to get into related to voting rights and women's reproductive rights and gun safety, that position was better suited for me in being able to do more for the people of the 1st Congressional District.
I got to ask you, because you brought it up. The party.
The part?
The party.
The party, yeah.
The party, loyalty. When I first got in the game, and I admit I was on the tail end of it, numbers counted, responsibility counted. It seems like there's a whole new set of rules as it relates to it. When you talk about feeling like you deserve the slate, a lot of people be like, you don't deserve, but within the realm of the party, right? Because it's an exclusive club. It does not seem to always be a benefit to black people. It seems like we're often leveraged, but we're second. When it was almost crazy to me, not to be funny, that who got the endorsement of the Cook County Democratic Party. I wasn't obviously necessarily on your team. I didn't have a horse in the race per se, but it did seem odd to me that the party would ignore a committeeman. Woman, like when you look at the polls, when you look at all the information, what it all adds up to be, what is the path forward for black people in the Cook County Democratic Party right now? Because I don't know that we see our interests necessarily represented, without trying to jam anybody that you know.
Yeah, I think that we are seeing some, what would I say, some movement of working together among not just black committeemen, but also black elected officials, where you find more discussion now between the state black elected officials, the city and Cook County black elected officials. That hasn't happened in a long time. I see that forming better, holding more firm now. I think that at the city level, the fact that black folks, black aldermen stuck together around the remap is an example of us understanding the severity of our communities, the situation that we're in, and being able to work better together. The party is a whole nother thing. I follow some elements of the party, and then on some things I just can't.
We saw. So let me say this, Alderman Dowell. And I'm sure that we got, let me just make sure that I got all my big ones out.
Gotta check your paper, huh?
I gotta check. Look, all she tried to give me, dog. She said you. Now, see, I ain't say nothing about your papers over there, yeah. But you didn't look at them once. So it's like, she said you gotta check. Did y'all see she tried to blast me? Did she say you gotta check? I just said I wanted to make sure that I got this interview right. Only because I think that there is again, you've heard me say, my audience has heard me say I'm about building, not breaking. Is it out there? Is it me? It could be me. No, it ain't me. Anyway, you've heard me often talk about building, not breaking here lately. And so I think that what we have to be responsible for is kind of healing or finding ways for us to work together. People tell me all the time why we can't, as compared to why we can. Alderman, I think had we not had our dust up, I would tell you that I have looked around the third ward, right? Like, now, obviously, I got some people that I would like to see do better. But I would tell you that when I look around, particularly because one of the things that I have seen is that my generation, I'm not talking about the millennials and I'm not talking about the old folks, but in our generation, I have seen a lot of opportunity created in places where we would not ordinarily get the opportunity, whether it's the opportunities that you've done with Boxville, where we've seen a lot of progress for young black folks. So I don't want to take that away from you. And I know I got an audience that probably is like, grr. But I do think if you drive around the Third Ward and you look around and you see the opportunities that have been afforded for some of, not quite some, quite a few black folks, you'd be pleasantly surprised to see there, even as it's gentrifying. Talk to me about how do you balance, though, Alderman? Your ward makes me think of 27, maybe 5 years ago. Like, you're not there yet, but it's coming. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about how do you balance being an alderman, a black alderman, that has to deal with a constituency that always ain't from the same background, and how do you balance your black and your white communities?
Well, in the South Loop, which is what I would say is mostly the white part of my ward, I address their issues, like I would do in the 1st Congressional District. I meet with folks, I understand what their concerns are, and I try to address those concerns. But I always want to put my flavor, so to speak, in that. So, yes, I support business development in the South Loop, but I'm also going to support the Momentum Coffees, the Overflow Coffees, the Bureau Bar and Grills, the important African American businesses that the FedEx that want to locate into the South Loop. I do the same thing in the Bronzeville part of my ward in terms of for sale city-owned land. I try to make sure that the people who live next door to that property has an opportunity to buy it. I always look for black builders first. But the reality is, Mays, that a lot of the privately owned land is owned by people who don't look like me and you, and they can build on it, and they do. Fortunately, a lot of the people that move into those buildings are African Americans, but we do have a significant number of white people and Asian people mm-hmm. and Latinos moving into parts of the Third Ward.
So, I think one of the challenges that people have to recognize, and we are black first. You as an alderman and as a congressman will have to represent everybody in your district, but we want to make sure we got a special place, because sometimes what we need is a little bit different. I'm gonna wrap this up because mm-hmm. I know you got a busy schedule. Alderman, if elected, first of all, why has the 1st Congressional District life for black people been better or worse in the last 20 years?
I think that we have not received our fair share of resources from the federal government. We give a lot of money, tax money, to Washington, but we don't see that back. I want to change that. I think that there's significant infrastructure money in the district, at the federal level, that should come through the 1st Congressional District. And that's something that every part of the district has a need for, more money for infrastructure. We need more money to support affordable housing. I'm looking forward to getting in there and working with Marcia Fudge, who is the new HUD secretary, to bring those resources back to Chicago, to the 1st Congressional District.
All right, two more questions, and then I'm gonna let you up out of here. Do you support the right of undocumented immigrants to vote in municipal elections?
No. Okay. I believe that if you're a citizen, you get the right to vote. That's the Constitution.
All right. And then that undocumented. Dang, I just lost it. All right. You know what? I'm gonna let you off. Oh, wait. Shh. Oh, that's it. Do you support monetary reparations to descendants of slavery?
Yes, I do. I believe that not only do I support reparations, I also believe we need to get a formal apology from the federal government for all of the wrongs of slavery that has been perpetrated on our community. I believe in reparations. I'm not quite sure of all the forms. Monetary is one of them, but there may be others. And I'm open to having that discussion.
All right. Look, that is, I know you got other things to do. We went a little bit longer than I anticipated. This is what I'd like you to do, Alderman. I'd like you to take a look into that blue camera right there. And I would like for you to tell the people why you are their best candidate for first congressional, for the congresswoman of the first congressional district.
All right. First of all, thank you, Mays, for the opportunity. I want your listening audience and viewing audience to know that I am a results-oriented, action-driven person. I have a great work ethic. I'm someone who can be trusted. I'm not bought and paid for by any outsider. I am someone who knows how to get into the weeds, deliver for our communities. I have a lot of integrity. I've not laid the foundation for fraud or to be a bought elected official. I have a track record, and a good track record, working with people within my ward. I expect to do that within the first congressional district. I think I'm accessible. You will see your congresswoman. I want to be the first woman to represent the first congressional district. We've had great men, but I think it's time for a woman to be in that seat. And I'm asking the people in the listening audience to give me consideration. You can go to my website, www.illinoisfordowell.com, and you can just drop by the campaign office, which is at 111th and Longwood. My punch number is 32. You know what to do.
And last question, I'm going to put it on camera. Who you supporting for Cook County Assessor?
Oh, that's easy. Carrie Steele.
Look at that.
You know her?
Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. If I get another letter, then I'll be sleeping on the couch for another 2 weeks. Hey, y'all. This has been 3rd Ward Alderman and candidate for 1st Congressional District, Alderman Pat Dowell. Alderman, I'm going to tell you, I appreciate you coming in. I thought it was a great interview. I'd love to have the opportunity to keep on having these conversations just because there's a lot going on in the area.
We will.
And so let's make sure that we keep the dialogue open. Thank you for stopping by. Shout out to Sean Howard. You got one of the best publicity media guys in the world. I probably should shoot myself in the foot because when he called me and said, I'm bringing Alderman Dowell, I was like, dang, never, I tried to get you off the bench. And shout out to Obadeli, who has been out. Man, you know what? I would tell you that I say like this. It is a much better pleasure to be working together than to be working oppositionally to each other. And I think if we can start to create these dialogues with all of us where we can figure out, can I also say this last thing? I must tell you that with this 17 candidates in the race, I must just tell y'all how dope it is that you all have not, at least publicly that I've seen, tried to destroy each other. And I think that goes a long way to trying to heal this community and trying to get us to work together. Because at the end of the day, we're going to have to work with whoever the person is. And so I just want to tell you thank you. Let's keep on opening up the doors. Let's keep on building, not breaking. Congratulations and good luck on your endeavor. And I guess we'll find out on the 28th. We'll all be sitting around on pins and needles.
Thank you, Mays.
All right.
Thank
you, Alderman. We appreciate you. Look, y'all, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back after these messages.
The Mays Jackson Show will be back after this break.
WIIFTBPM. My mom would say, Carrie, don't talk about it, be about it. My name is Carrie K. Still, and as president of the Water Reclamation District, I lead an agency with $1 billion budget, AAA bond rating. We've increased transparency while we've reduced our reliance on tax dollars. Now, my opponent, has been all talk and broken promises. The Sun-Times said Kagi's office is riddled with mismanagement, hurting our seniors, our veterans, and our property tax bills are going to be late again. Look, we all knew 4 years ago that the Cook County property tax system was broken and needed to be reformed. And unfortunately, it still does. That's why I'm asking for your vote June 28th, punch number 112. Because I won't spend the next 4 years talking about it. I'll be about it. Vote for me, Carrie K. Still, as your next Democratic Cook County assessor. This message has been paid for by friends of Carrie Still.
Carrie Still, Cook County assessor.
Maze Jackson.
What's up, Chicago? This is your man, Maze Jackson, host of The Maze Jackson Show. You hear me every single day ask the question, what's in it for the black people? Well, finally, y'all, we've got an answer, and it's called the Black People First Party. Meet us every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at TP, located at 5401 South Wentworth, Unit 17E. That's in the mall at the 55th and the Dan Ryan. And you join us every Saturday where we are taking our politics black. We'll teach you everything you need to know about the game, from how to collect a petition, to how to knock on a door, to even how to become the next mayor of the city of Chicago. That's right, y'all. It is the Black People First Party. Meet us every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at TP, located at 5401 South Wentworth in the mall at 55th and the Dan Ryan. And if you don't like it, you can still tell them, Maze said. This is a black people thing you wouldn't even understand.
Maze Jackson.
Today, the Biden administration is releasing what it calls a new strategy to fight domestic terrorism. Following a 100-day review, federal officials are now laying out a new plan hoping to deter, detect, and prosecute domestic terror.
They went to the Capitol waving their flags and looking for smoke. He was out there looking for justice. They was over there looking for votes. Ashley Babbitt was with him and told all the people that nothing could stop us. She climbed through the Capitol window, breached security, and called a shot, bro. The media say she a veteran. They paint the picture to make her look greater, but she disrespected the same country that she served. That makes her a traitor. They was fighting police, resisting arrest. On God, I couldn't believe it. I guess blue lives only tend to really matter when it's convenient. Hey, these are the times we witness in history, all because they didn't get a victory. United States is so contradictory. We get equal rights, that's a mystery. Politicians, they more like magicians. You know they got tricks up their sleeve. We point out the flaws that's up in this country. You know they gon' tell us to leave. Somebody try to help me understand it. Always seems like a double standard. They be out here leaving us empty-handed to certain rights we are not granted. The media's the culprit when it comes to the comparison. Cause when it comes to race, they always changing up the narratives. Terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know and we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know and we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know and we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. We still out here trying to get our reparations, but the government pump faking out here hesitating. I'm out here trying to keep my peace, so I keep meditating. The media make us look bad, they taint our reputation. Look, it's so sad that COVID causing toe tags. You claim you so patriotic, but you ain't wearing no mask. You out here wildin' with your MAGA flags and showing your ass. You wanna be part of some type of revolution so bad. Look, you talk revolution and constitutional rights, homie. I guess we forgot about back in the days when all of the business was whites only. Yeah. George Floyd got justice. Juneteenth got much respect. They made it a national holiday. Man, it's all good, but cut the check. They giving out all of these vaccines, putting it in you like caffeine. Was it all in the part of the plan? I bet money like DraftKings. It's land of the free, home of the brave. 1776, we wasn't free till 1865, so we wasn't part of that shit. And that there's terrorism.
Terrorism. You are tuned in to the Maze Jackson Show. I am your host, Maze Jackson. Yeah, we just got through wrapping up with 3rd Ward Alderman and congressional candidate Alderman Pat Dowell. Y'all, it's been a long time. Oh yeah, you gotta raise this here. You gotta pull this up. Get this ready to talk. We're gonna talk to you in a hot second. Okay. Y'all, but this is the Maze Jackson Show. Shout out to the concept of building, not breaking. On the Black People First palm card, Remember, we're going for one palm card. Alderman Dowell is, we believe it's going to come down to Alderman Dowell and and Jonathan Jackson Jr. And regardless of who wins, we want to make sure that we keep an open dialogue. But speaking of open dialogues, I told you that 8 o'clock we were doing Open 8, so we were going to open up the 8 o'clock hour for candidates, no matter what office they were running for, to come tell our audience a little bit about themselves and why they are running. And right now in the building with me is candidate for Bloom Committeeman, Trustee Adam Winston from Glenwood?
Yes.
From Glenwood. Make sure you're talking to the mic. I had to let it all the way up because you're a big, tall guy. You got to talk straight into it. So welcome to the Maze Jackson Show. How are you guys? Get closer.
Thank you very much.
How are you today?
I am fantastic. Thank you.
Talk to me, man. You are running for Bloom Township Committeeman. What is the Bloom Township Committeeman and what do you do? Well, back up. Tell us a little bit about yourself first.
So for starters, I'm a trustee for the Village of Glenwood.
Okay.
I've been a trustee for the past about almost 12 years.
Okay.
I've been serving that community. And during that time,
got to get closer to the mic, man.
I feel like in a minute I'm going to be sitting on this mic.
Okay. You probably need to be.
Okay.
All right.
So for the past about 12 years, I've been working tirelessly to make certain that Bloom Township has great representation, making certain that the residents in Glenwood, which is just a little small town in the south suburbs, really has someone who champions the causes of the people that actually live in there. I'm not a native from Chicago. I actually moved to Illinois from Detroit, so I came here looking at a community that I could bike ride, where I could walk and do all of these different things, and Glenwood just seemed like the perfect place in the south suburbs for me to raise my family. So I've been doing the work, and I hope that I can continue to do the work as the next Bloom Township Committee.
Now, give me a sense of where is Bloom Township? What other towns or villages are in Bloom Township?
So Bloom Township, and this is what most people don't understand, Bloom Township encompasses a part of Homewood, Flossmoor, a part of Flossmoor, a part of Park Forest, a part of Olympia Fields, portions of South Chicago Heights, a piece of Stager, a little piece of Salt Village, Chicago Heights, Glenwood, Linwood, Lansing, and Fort Heights. So it's a nice radius, a nice area. Many of those communities, unfortunately, even though they're in the Bloom Township residency, they're just removed from the Bloom Township activities and representation. And my hope is, by bringing someone that's not necessarily from one particular community, that we would start getting more voices, more interest from other areas of that Bloom Township area.
Now, the Township Committeeman is an unpaid position, so why does a person run for committeeman?
Well, listen, for me, and it is, and this is, some days I scratch my head like, why am I even, do I need any more unpaid jobs, right? I mean, coaching baseball, doing all of the different things that I do for the community already. I need some of these jobs to start paying, right? But also, until I get paid for some of these particular positions, it's more important for us to have representatives that honestly represent our communities. One of the things that, and this is no shade on any past committeeman in the Bloom Township that's overseen the Bloom Township community for years, but for too long we've had people who talk for us but never have spoken to any of us, right? And I think that's the hurdle. That's the area of opportunity for us in Bloom Township to start having. I was at a meeting last night, as you know. And at this meeting, a gentleman came up to me and he says, "Nobody cares about Bloom, right? I mean, there's."
I do. That's vote rich area.
I agree. And he says, "Well, the voter turnout is low."
Who was that? That was clearly somebody who don't do politics too tough. But go ahead.
Well, he's a political strategist, and you know what? I get what he was saying. But what he's missing is that the reason why there's this voter apathy in this Bloom Township area is because of the fact that they're really just I think people are kind of on autopilot. They don't think anything is going to change because we just keep turning out the same type of product. We really are. It's just one type of candidate that just kind of fits the narrative in Bloom Township, and that's just the real. And until we start honestly getting more people from outside of that one arena, we're going to find ourselves still in that same predicament. Sorry, my phone is.
All right. So tell me tell our audience what the job of the committeeman is. And as the committeeman, do you believe you have the resources necessary to run a township like Bloom Township?
So the job really, and I tell most people right now that I'm already acting in this capacity. So I feel like I'm acting in this capacity because for years I've been organizing all of these particular communities, whether I'm coaching baseball in Flossmoor, whether I'm acting as Santa Claus throughout the area and giving out food baskets and all of the different things, shoveling snow, all of the different things that kind of bring our community or unify our township. I've already been doing that. So I kind of liken it to a marriage, right? In a marriage, you don't start acting like you're married after you get married, right? You should already be acting like a married person prior to you actually getting married.
Except for the checkbook. Go ahead.
Except for the checkbook. But as a committee person, if you haven't already acted or acting in that capacity already, and then all of a sudden now you just want to be placed in that position, then you're really going into it with unclean hands, and it's probably not going to get any better. My hope and my desire is that by getting someone who's willing to step out there, to honestly be that leader, that champion for that particular community, then we will be able to get that vote number up, make certain that any representative that choose to run for office throughout wherever, that they honestly come to those voters in Bloom and can feel like they have the same opportunity to explore that run. Right now, if you don't kind of follow those lines, right, you're probably just not going to get that endorsement.
So talk to me. How will you build a Bloom Township political organization?
So that's a very good question. So professionally, I'm a change manager. Most people say, well, what is that? Well, I go into companies and I actually make them better. So. Okay. Having that level of expertise, I will use that to make certain that we build a stronger Bloom from the bottom up. Most of us look at the leadership in these areas, and we all flock to the top-down type of approach. I think that's the wrong approach. We have to start looking at all of the communities that represent Bloom and take more of a bottom-up approach to kind of flatline that power. So even though I would be the committee person for Bloom Township, my hope and my desire is that by having members of that community or that committee start to have their say in terms of who should be representing them, that we will start turning out better products.
So when you say they'll have a say in, because I guess, so help me understand. So what would be, tell me kind of like the structure of the Bloom Township organization if you were to take, what would it look like?
So what it would look like is a representative or two from each community that makes up that Bloom Township community. So it would not be all of the members solely from one specific community. We would have a representative from every community that makes up that Bloom Township body. In order to go through that endorsement process, although I would be that particular committee person, I would not make that final choice when it comes to endorsement. It would be the members of that committee you would come as a candidate, you would speak to the members of that organization, and then you would exit stage left, and then they would take a vote if they want to support this particular candidate or another one. So kind of putting the hands back into the very people who we actually got into this first. I don't just need soldiers, and I'm making this mention because recently I ran into a fellow who actually challenged me on my petitions when I was throwing my petitions in the run for committeeman, and I asked him. I said, well, listen, if we both want what's right for Bloom, why don't we sit down and figure out how do we make this work? And he says, well, Adam, I'm just a soldier. Well, that's the problem. We're not supposed to be soldiers. We're supposed to be servants. We're supposed to be individuals that are helping those soldiers that we need, right, to continue to do the job. And even soldiers should know when they're doing or gone too far. So I don't think that being a part of a committee person's committee requires you just to take this blind allegiance to kind of just act with no thought. I'd like more engagement, more input from those members of the committee so that we can have an organization that's not built on sand, that's an organization that's strong enough to withstand the test of time, and that we honestly are getting a better quality of product when it comes to some of these candidates that are running for office.
Talk to me about how you win. Not you, but let me tell you, I look at a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I don't know that if I am the job of the committeeman is to elect Democratic candidates.
That is correct.
And I want you to use every tool in the toolbox.
Yes.
Tell me, how would you go about fundraising for your organization to have the resources to put the people on the streets, and talk to me about how you would fundraise for the organization, and tell me how you would get candidates that came to Bloom Township elected.
So fundraising, like so many people, and for me, I take fundraising very personal. And for starters, I was an orphan, and that's relevant because growing up in the system, I got no so many times that now I don't want to hear no, so I just invest in my own candidacies and my own run. But at the same time, I also realize I'm not rich, right? And I have to continue to build value, and part of that value offering, it has to be done where honestly people feel like they're getting something. But most of the people in Bloom Township, they're like me. They're struggling to make ends meet. So just to go up to them and just ask for $5 or $10, I think that they would do it if they felt that the organization was honestly doing their bidding. So for starters, we would do much more fundraisers and membership where you would pay a small dues each year, but you wouldn't be just a member simply just because you pay the dues. You would also have to volunteer on candidates' campaigns, so that not only are you joining this just for your own opportunity, but you're going to be supporting other candidates that may once upon a time want to run for office. So it's a multi-layer kind of approach, which in turn should help us increase the revenues, right? People donating, people sponsoring, and so on and so forth, so that we can have an organization that is strong financially, and we can support those candidates. Many of the people right now that are coming out of that Bloom Township, the reason why they see no alternative is speaks directly to the fundraising. The person right now who's kind of pushing the candidate of their choice, he funds. So people just become that blind soldier and just do whatever this individual says, even if it does not necessarily translate into the right thing, right? So being able to support those candidates that representative is something that's at the top of my mission, because we really got to be able to support these candidates, and that's going to take time, right? And it's been taking time. My predecessor, I don't know what she has in her coffers. I haven't even talked to her. She's fallen ill, from what I understand, and she's not running. So, but I haven't been able to see what's in her coffer. So I'm pretty much starting over and anyone would be with this particular organization. But in order to start over and in order to build a solid township that can support new candidates, it starts with the head. You got to have a strong foundation to build from, and I just think that I'm that foundation.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Tell me who you helped successfully besides yourself. You're obviously a trustee. You got my man Randall Blakely out there. That's my man. I think your mayor is. Tell me your name. What's the mayor's name?
Gardner.
Wait.
This is Glenwood.
Oh, I'm thinking of Linwood. Sorry, I had Linwood down. Okay, so Glenwood. Who's the mayor?
Ronald Gardner.
Ronald Gardner. Is he supporting you?
No.
Okay. So you running again? You must want to be in oppositional trustees.
Listen, I don't like to look at myself as an oppositional trustee, but I'm no idiot either, right?
Okay.
I think that if you just want people to get along, then fine. I'm probably not going to be your candidate.
Got it.
But if you want leadership, right? If you want someone who's not only going to just be a placeholder, but actually make things much better. And then for my mayor, honestly, to support a candidate he's never met is absolutely insane. And so,
how you know they ain't never met?
Believe me, I know. Okay, and so and it's what it is. I mean, okay. I get the game, and that's what I mean by even soldiers sometimes have to do what's right and not just be a good little soldier as they proceed. So, waiting for leadership to happen in some of these small towns. People don't appreciate it, but small towns are very difficult. Probably more difficult to run for office than some of the larger places like Chicago. There's no watchdogs, right? There's nobody even remotely interested in what's going on in places like Glenwood, where there's 9,000 residents. Those become a popularity contest. Sometimes people just go along because it's easier. I don't want the retaliation. It becomes almost this sheep mindset, right? I'm no sheep. I'm a shepherd, and I pride myself on being that shepherd. And I hope that as a shepherd that I can continue to lead, even if I have to lead from behind. Real leaders know that they can lead from behind. I don't have to be in the front. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, man, that is Trustee Adam Winston. He is a candidate for Bloom Township Committeeman. Look, y'all, we got an election coming up on Tuesday. We need everybody black to turn out. I told y'all we could change this whole game this weekend with just a short little bit of work. Trustee, I want to tell you thank you for coming. You come highly recommended from a very dear friend of ours, which is why you on today so quickly. Shout out to Cassandra Matz, who was filling up the studio today. And it looks like we got to wrap this thing up. Do we have anything else? You got anything? Let me just tell you, take a quick look at the camera. Tell everybody why you should be the Bloom Township Committee.
I should be the Bloom Township Committeeman because for too long, Bloom Township has just been underrepresented. My hope is that by becoming the next Bloom Township, by you supporting me in this particular next election, that we can start making sense out of some of these things that, quite frankly, they just don't make any sense. My hope is that as your next committee person, that we can sit down, start unifying Bloom Township so that we can start having representatives that honestly represent our interests. So that's why you should elect me. I look forward to serving you. I'm reachable as your next Bloom Township Committeeman.
All right, y'all. This is the Mays Jackson Show. We've had an action-packed show. I don't know how we started with yellow water in the bottles, but we ended up with Alderman Pat Dowell and Trustee Adam Winston running for 1st Congressional District and Bloom Township Committeeman. Not correspond, dagnabbit, not consecutively. But anyway, I lost my word. But I want to tell y'all, this has been a great show. We only got about 6 more days until Election Day. Black folks, we need you to turn out. We need you to do the right thing. Don't forget to support. You know who you got to support. You know what we're doing. Also, one palm card. We had a meeting last night. It looks like we're gonna move. I'm gonna send out an email today. One palm card. We can do this, y'all. Look, so for Maze, Riis, and Ruthie. Ruthie bounced out, didn't even come back. She was like, hold on, y'all got 2 guests. I'm about to cut out of here. So for Maze, Riis, and Ruthie, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happening in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain,